Vyrah reporting for duty another time together. We are gonna do the thing. The thing. What's the thing? We're gonna watch some YouTube together. Isn't that fucking awesome? I know, right? Yeah. We're gonna do some React. Basically, I watch YouTube, you watch YouTube with me. It's like, and yeah, a lot of things happen. Because, oh my fucking god, can things stop happening for fuck's sake? Like there's like so many trailers. If you only knew along my list is of. And by the way, this new game that is awesome is about to fucking release. It's the fucking 16th time that I hear this in the fucking week. But anyway, we're gonna start, as always, we're gonna start like chill. Alright. Oh my... And actually, oh my fucking god. Can you shut the fuck up? Okay. So. Okay. So. Like this. Okay. Okay. We are making slowly progress to a man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with like? And why not? Why the fuck not? Okay. So let's start with all right. Let's start with. I've heard of Mahjongami. Me neither. It's a small indie game. Maybe it's not a small indie game, but like it doesn't have the numbers I usually see. Let's check it out. Like maybe a cool surprise so far. There has been.
Presenting Papercraft Character Action.
Okay.
To escape Orchestra, a world of nightmare and illusion, Shiroha must shred it all to pieces. Mahjongami. Available now.
Okay, do you know why the fuck you didn't understood a single thing in this trailer? It's the same as this is a Japanese trailer that has not been translated for like Western audience. Every trailer for anime and every trailer for video games are that loud, that fucking like energetic, and that fucking like, what the fuck is going on? Can you tell me, please, please, please? And basically, like, this is why I think it's a rhythm game. I think. Look, either way, the art style is not for me. Yeah, it looks like a rhythm game, like in avoid it all type of game. But yeah, so the character look nice. I'm not fan of the character design, which is fine, to be honest. Like, but it looks good. It looks good. It looks really like fun to play if you're into that, you know, that type of games. Other than that, that's pretty much it. The rest I didn't understood. I'll be honest with you. Like, I want the characters are cool, but like for real, no clue. If you had no clue, I have no clue neither. Like for anime trailers, it is understandable. It's just loud and like really like all at the same time. Video game trailer non-translated for Western audience. I didn't saw this before. Actually, what the fuck? It is quite the fucking thing. Okay, so I'd say if it's your thing, you already know that it's for you. So yeah, let's keep on going. Hey, happy bike. Doing great. I am kind of I had like a lot of work. I'm planning to go back to, oh, is it called, to all night to like I need to finish Battlefield tomorrow, and I'll be on whole night actually this week well, Friday next week, like for sure. All right, let's check out. So Neverness to Everness. Let's check this out. I hope your week was great. From the studio, I don't fucking know. Wow. Damn, it's ASMR the music. Like it. Okay.
I walked to forecourt like a sipping messy dog. My boss was working so the bug. I'm just out of luck. What is that traffic? River wink, what up? Look, you say, okay, today was fun, huh? I don't hate the city. It's so sticky. How many friends do we break the leash? My favorite city, where I'm so busy. Overtake, step on the GAS, dash like a vroom, vroom, vroom,
Oh my god.
my GPS, co-pilot, dummy, we get there. When we leave your city, it's not that far. We leave We're popping bubbles and beat the pop. Why do I feel weightless standing on the ground? Why these things grow so I'm not moving around?
You said waifu, you said gacha. I see waifu. Okay. So this is interesting, especially on the waifu side. Uh-huh. Okay, so do you have any fucking clue what the fuck the game is about? I don't. I was like, so it started off with like the little monster that they catch. I was like, so they catch monsters, right? No, I said maybe driving. Maybe everything at once. And look at this little, it's a little cup chipmunk. What the fuck? These people need to go in kawaii jail because like they did some kawaii overloaded some stuff. Like this is illegal in 24 nations to do something so adorable. Like, but yeah, do you understand waifu? What it is? What is this? Don't tell me it's another waifu. It is another waifu. So I'm guessing gacha game. Really pretty. I'm guessing there is fighting in it. What the fuck? Like, I guess you fight, but like, then they play music. It's like, oh my fucking god! Like, no clue. I will if it comes to me. It comes. But like, it's a PS5 game. Like, it's a PS5 game. It's not a street racing simulation management. Like, urban exploration, anomaly containment, street racing simulation management. I see waifu. You can tell me whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, but you can tell me whatever the fuck you want. If this is not a gacha game, I don't believe you. Even if you show me proof, I don't believe you that it's not a gacha game. All right? This is a gacha game, and this is it. Okay. Next one, actually a game I want to see. I learned that it will come on fucking like I was willing to buy. I will buy a PlayStation anyway, but like I was so happy to learn that like it comes also on Xbox. It's called Tide of Annihilation. So Tide of Annihilation, you are not ready. Like, this is the game. I saw this and I was like, okay, this is a mix in between Final Fantasy and Devil May Cry. Like, but like, it's so beautiful. The combat gameplay, you're about to fucking understand that like some developers sell products, some game developers sell products, and some game developers sell games. Because once you see this fucking trailer, like this is like a gameplay trailer, you will understand that like this is what we call next gen. This is what, like, you can already see that it's fun, you can already see that it's polished, you can already see that like this is something interesting.
Another folded realm. Is this a memory from Lamorak's past?
We thought all his knights were dead. Yet Lamorak sends one more. I almost admire him.
Tyranno! But you're one of the White King's sorceresses. You destroyed the White Lands.
That destruction is in fact salvation.
You're insane!
You know not of what you speak.
accept your defeat.
Wow.
Beware!
Lamorak! She's created another folded realm. I can't reach her.
We cannot profit you both, but this mere shard. Take the spear.
She's human again.
It seems you do have the capacity to surprise us. Not enough. Change. Rectus. Even with your new ally, we end this here.
Palamines!
Enemy of my enemy, I lend you my strength.
We fight as one.
Tyranno Canine!
Wow.
Not escape justice! Justice! There is only the king's will!
Go to hell!
Foolish night, and your foolish foe.
Fucking god.
With the agony of truth, you choose the comfort of lies. Loyalty without inquiry is in itself a betrayal. Your loyalty has condemned this man.
Fucking god. Okay. Tide of Annihilation, fucking wishlisted and fucking buy the console, don't care. The trailer was already so fucking engaging. Like, this was fucking insane. But now seeing the fight, we had a glimpse during the trailer of how they fight. But this is grandiose. This is a game like any other. Like, I swear to you, like, this is absolutely insane. Look at the pace, look at, and during the trailer they showed like different like exploration and everything. It's absolutely unbelievable. Look at fucking like the creativity when it comes to just one fight. This is just one fight. And what I like about Tides of Annihilation is that the protagonist that you play is actually called Alice. It's a girl. For once, we get like a fucking like girl having the fucking insane cool role, right? So I like this a lot as well, because like playing dudes all the time, like being a dude all the time with the cool game, like maybe it's stupid, but like feels good to have a story about like a fucking epic girl, right? And look at the details. The graphics are out of this world. Like the story is insane. Like nothing much has been revealed except a destroyed world. But this is look at how polished this is in-game, technically, like in-game engine running the cutscene. Because you can see that like the difference between this and this, well, there isn't. Like, they use the same engine. They don't kind of use like the camera thing where it's like, and so, but check this out. It's in between like Dark Souls, Devil May Cry, and Final Fantasy. Like, I'd say even like more like Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, and Devil May Cry. And I fucking love it. Look at how colorful it is. Look at how creative it is. Main girl, and not fan service. The combat is amazing, and story is probably going to be amazing as well. Absolutely. Like, this is out of like I've seen a lot of trailers. There are like a couple games that made me tell myself, oh yeah, of course I'll buy it, right? But like this game made me completely go, wow. This is, and out of nowhere, it's a new IP in the genre. It's from no fucking clue. And yeah, so yeah, let me check for, is there a release date? I'll check this out right now. I think it's during 2026. Wait. No release date. Yeah, no release date. But like, yeah. It will be launched on PC, eventually Xbox and PlayStation 5. But like, god damn. Like, I've seen like, this is the only game where I told myself, okay, I need to remember that this game exists, because like, oh my fucking god. You can see like the interface, like it seems like simplistic, but like it follows kind of like the Dark Soul, Elden Ring, like classic type of like Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy type of like gameplay. It looks insane. It looks insane. For me, just for like the spectacle, like check this out. What the fuck? It just picks her up, and it's like, wow. There isn't a single moment during like this combat where it wasn't like something like completely like absolutely like cinematic in a certain way, and interactive as well. Like you can see that, and difficult. You can see that like there is like many things to do. Like I will spend like 25 years. I will spend like one night cycle talking about the game. So just keep it as a game that you should definitely follow, and that you should definitely give a try. Okay, more trailers. Like, this is a gameplay, commentary gameplay, Horizon Still Frontier. Wait, is this Horizon? The new Horizon? I never played that new Horizon because I never fucking had a PS5. Like, let's check this out. Okay, it is part of the Horizon franchise. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. MMORPG? Wait, it's an MMORPG? Okay. Horizon MMORPG? I'm playing World of Warcraft, so no way.
안녕하세요.
Changing.
NC소프트의 김택진입니다. 여러분께 NC의 새로운 프로젝트 허라이즌 스틸 프론티어스를 마침내 선보일 수 있게 되어 기쁘다 생각합니다. 2017년 허라이즌 제로던을 만났을 때 매력적이고 생동감 넘치는 그 세계에 저는 바로 빠져들었습니다. 거대한 기계 생명체와의 전투에 흥분을 감출 수 없었고 미스테리한 내러티브는 저의 호기심을 자극하며 그 세계 끝까지 가게 만들었습니다. 하지만 동시에 이 재미 가득한 세계를 홀로 모험해야 한다는 점은 아쉽게 느껴졌습니다. 이런 세계에서 다른 사람을 만나 함께 협력하며 거대한 기계 생명체와 전투를 한다면 그 얼마나 재미있을까? 그런 상상을 하며 기계 생명체라면 판타지 몬스터보다 훨씬 새롭고 더 재밌을 거란 확신이 있었습니다. 이 매력적인 세계관을 바탕으로 MMO를 만들고 싶었던 거죠. 마침내 그 꿈을 허라이즌 스틸 프론티어스로 이루게 되어 오늘 여러분께 처음 소개해드리게 되었습니다. 허라이즌 스틸 프론티어스는 NC에게 새로운 도전이자 앞으로 펼쳐질 새로운 여정의 출발점입니다.
I just gotta say, the dude is in a building looking like not far away from like the game. Like you saw the building that is crashed down, you know? Like the dude looks like he is like next to the fucking zone of the Horizon Zero Dawn. Like look at the fucking windows, too. Yeah, no, fucking Wolf. How close can you, like, the fucking studio looks like the fucking, like, this is where everything took place for some unknown reasons. But like, this is an MMORPG. Oh, I want to fucking hear about
그리고
it.
게릴라 게임스가 협력하여 만들어낸 새로운
It said MMORPG.
호라이즌을 기대해 주시기 바랍니다.
Hi, I'm Jan Bart van Beek. I'm the studio director at Guerrilla, and I also lead our art and animation teams. And I was the one who originally came up with the concept of the Horizon franchise. Now, Horizon is incredibly special to me and to everyone at Guerrilla. This world we've poured our hearts and souls into is a place where humanity, nature, and technology are constantly colliding. It's become a vibrant and living world, full of stories, tribal cultures, and of course those incredible animal-like machines that rule the land. From the very
Yeah, this is also my problem, is that like the tribal vibe, not for me. Not at all.
beginning of creating this franchise, we've imagined the Horizon universe as one that could be experienced in many different ways. Horizon Steel Frontiers is a full-fledged MMORPG that NCSoft has built specifically for mobile.
Okay, but this is interesting because a new RPG based on an IP that is actually like, so Horizon Dawn as a RPG is actually something viable. Like, it's kind of like, it's not as viable as something like as Final Fantasy, right? But like, it is viable. It's not an idea where I'm like, what the fuck are they thinking about? Keep doing the same game, right? It's really viable, so let's keep going.
With Steel Frontiers, you can step into this world anywhere, anytime. Players take on the role of machine hunters, chasing opportunity in a region called the Deadlands. This is inspired by Arizona and New Mexico. You're sharing the frontier with thousands of other players, sometimes working together to take down machines, and other times competing with rival tribes, or fighting over resources. And that mix of cooperation and competition creates moments that you could never script. Now, at the heart of Horizon's story is the search for the balance between humanity, nature, and technology. And sometimes that's harmony, sometimes that's conflict. But it always creates a world filled with mystery and beauty. What we want players to feel is the world's resilience and its hope. And that even when everything seems overwhelming, humanity can adapt, can survive, and finds meaning in the world. We've already had groups of guerrillas playing Horizon Steel Frontiers together in the office, and it's really amazing. Whenever I get a chance to jump in on an early gameplay test, what really stands out is Steel Frontiers' distinct tone and atmosphere. It has a unique identity of its own, and that's been brought to life by NCSoft developers. But it fits perfectly with the Horizon universe, and that balance between the essence of Horizon and something fresh, that really excites me about this project.
안녕하세요. 호라이즌 스틸 프론티어스의 총괄 프로듀서 이성구입니다. 이 프로젝트를 세상에 처음 선보이게 되어 조금 긴장되기도 하지만
Okay, let me just check one thing. I need to check from time to time if our microphone didn't fucking die though. It happened to me. Okay, it happened to me where I'm like, oh, I'll lose footage for like 30 minutes and
동시에
like
굉장히
anyway.
설레네요. 호라이즌 스틸 프론티어스의 핵심 컨셉은 한마디로 압도적인 사이즈의 기계를 공략하는 즐거움입니다. 거대한 기계를 공략하는 재미는 원작 호라이즌 시리즈가 가진 가장 큰 매력이었잖아요. 저희는 이 경험을 MMORPG의 영역으로 확장시키고 있습니다. 가장 중점을 두고 있는 부분은 MMORPG에 맞는 새로운 전투 경험을 설계하는 것입니다. 먼저 거대 기계 공략 과정에서 호라이즌 스틸 프론티어스만의 독창적인 재미를 더하고 있습니다. 예를 들어 기계 몬스터의 특정 부위를 파괴한 뒤 풀캐스트를 활용해 순식간에 접근하여 올라타 파괴한 부위에 함정을 설치하고 상태 이상 효과를 부여할 수 있고요. 전투 중에 기계 몬스터가 드랍한 무기를 마운트에 싣고 들고 다니다가 다른 전투에 활용하는 방식도 가능합니다. 거대 기계 공략의 중심에는 협력과 전략 두 가지 키워드가 핵심 가치로 자리 잡고 있습니다. 거대 기계 공략 과정에서 유저들은 각자의 역할을 수행하고 전략적으로 행동해야 하며 유기적으로 협력해야 합니다. 이러한 전투 방식과 설정들은 대규모 전투에서 훨씬 더 빛을 발하게 됩니다. MMORPG만이 줄 수 있는 스케일과 다이나믹함이죠.
Okay, this is interesting. I just need to take a note real fast. Give me 1 second. I swear to you, it's really like a fast note.
호라이즌
Told
스틸
you it's really
프론티어스에서는 모든 유저분들이 주인공입니다. 저희는 여러분들이 각자의 개성을 마음껏 표현할 수 있도록 커스터마이징에 많은 공을 들이고 있습니다. 아주 세밀한 부분까지 직접 조절할 수 있도록 말이죠. 먼저 캐릭터 생성 과정에 호라이즌 원작의 부족 컨셉을 녹여냈습니다. 노라, 테낙스, 우타르, 오세람 등 다양한 부족 중 선호하는 부족을 선택해 캐릭터를 생성할 수 있죠. 저희는 유저분들이 원하는 외형을 최대한 구현할 수 있도록 높은 자유도의 커스터마이징을 제공할 계획입니다. 얼굴, 체형, 헤어, 메이크업 등 기본적인 요소를 시작으로
I cannot wait for the release and to see the most ugly fucking thing that they can fucking. These like character creators are good, but like people break them and you see like these green fucking looking like weirdos fucking walk around just because, and it's like kind of breaks the immersion of the game. But what can you do, you know?
세부적인 부분까지 마음껏 조절할 수 있습니다. 이렇게 만들어진 외형은 다른 유저들과 공유할 수도 있습니다. 단순히 캐릭터를 만드는 것에서 끝나는 게 아니라 자신만의 개성을 뽐내고 서로의 창작물에서 영감을 얻어 캐릭터를 다시 꾸밀 수도 있죠. 여러분의 개성이 담긴 멋진 기계 사냥꾼의 모습으로 호라이즌 스틸 프론티어스를 탐험해 보시기 바랍니다. 호라이즌 스틸 프론티어스의 세상 속에서 자신만의 캐릭터를 육성하고 동료들과 함께 거대한 기계를 공략하고 데드랜드의 기계 사냥꾼으로 살아가는 이야기. 여러분이 하루빨리 이 모험의 주인공이 되는 모습을 보고 싶습니다. 저희도 그날을 위해 최선을 다하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Okay, I wasn't ready for Horizon the MMORPG. So first off, let's like go back a little bit. So the thing is like Horizon Dawn like already kind of like mastered the graphics point of view and the player like playability, like it plays well, it looks beautiful. As an MMORPG, it's actually quite the beautiful idea, because this IP was kind of like rolling a little bit like the new game was great, but who talks about it these days? But like an RPG, this can be interesting, and this is an RPG that actually you can fucking promote on consoles, and this is what's important. It's like this is an RPG because like most RPGs try to fucking play Warhammer, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft on fucking console. You simply cannot. While here you actually absolutely can, and this is actually really fucking interesting. So Horizon Steel Frontier, not for me, not at all, but like, oh my god, fucking like console players that never got to experience what it is to enjoy an MMORPG. I'm really happy for you guys. I'm really happy for you, friends, because like this is an MMO like made for consoles. And will it fucking like be as hyped? I think it will, because like Horizon was able to fucking like create a lot of hype. So yeah, I think it will. Okay. So, I want to check out like a trailer for this because like okay, there's only like a gameplay trailer. It's what we have. It's good enough. Let's check this out. Might as well like watch the trailer before like without the commentary, right? Oh, wow. Okay, this one. Okay, this one way too fast. I didn't saw like this was really action packed. Wow, the gameplay looks absolutely amazing. And like I said, so this is an MMO that is actually viable, that is playable on consoles. MMORPG finally fucking come to consoles. Oh my god, this is actually a great news because like a lot of people will never trade their consoles for a PC, and me just do you know how much it costs to just like have this camera and like being able to run the fucking like small games that I've run? Way too much. Way too much. All right. And to be honest, like this is actually quite the fucking revolution, I will tell you. So this is an MMORPG that will be on PS5. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it release it on Xbox. Fucking like, fucking go berserk on this thing because like no. Do you know any other MMORPG that like looks like this, plays like this, and actually like you want to buy it? Yeah, no, right? None. Like everything is on PC. So yeah, this is absolutely interesting. Like there's no release date. Cross-platform for mobile and PC. Fuck you, it's don't release it on fucking PS5. What do you mean you don't release it on PS5? I see the fucking like I see the fucking interface. This could be released on PS5. What do you mean? Oh my fucking god. No. Cross-platform for mobile and PS5 and PC? Are you fucking joking? Oh my fucking god. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Like, oh my fucking god. This is such a disappointment. Why don't you release it on fucking like PS5? You have the fucking perfect game to fucking have the monopoly of fucking releasing a fucking MMORPG on PS5. They gatekeeping games again. I don't even think so. I think that like they fucking didn't notice that like there is no good like MMORPG on PS5. They could be like monopoly and offering like everything like for PS5 players, and for once like PC we don't get anything. Like this will be such a good news. And for mobile and PC, you fucking joking or what? Oh my fucking god, I was so thrilled. And we're back at it. Well, if at least it's not an IP that I care about, so it's not too bad, you know. But like for the poor like console players, goddamn, you could have had such. I'm kind of tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep. Have a good one, Happy Bike. Take care of yourself. A blessing that you came by. Thank you so much. See ya next time. Have a good one. All right. A fast one. Another trailer. A really fast one. Guild Wars Reforged. It's a 30-second trailer. Okay, like, but it's Reforged. I don't know what it means. Oh, so it's Guild War 1 that is reforged. Okay, it's not Guild War 2 that is reforged. Guild War 2 doesn't look like it could look better, sadly.
This video will.
Okay. Let's keep going. Armadas, announced trailer. Let's check it out.
7 years ago, the veil tore open, and the worthy were claimed. We were left behind. In our desperation, we called to you, warrior, to stand against the darkness.
Okay.
Equipped with our best, you will forge a path through Paris, long decayed. Together, we must reach the sunless gate. When we die, we will leave this place. But you return again and again. What are you, really? And why have you come? Is this our salvation? Or is this the end?
Okay. So this is I was about to joke, oh, is this the frame of the Eiffel Tower? You'll never believe me that I didn't joke about the Eiffel Tower. That it's in fucking Paris? You're fucking joking? Like, well, it happens sometimes. You'll never know. Too bad. I should have joked about it. What are the odds that that the fucking joke about the fucking Eiffel Tower and that the game takes place in fucking Paris? None. I did joke in my head. I did joke, okay? Alright, so is this summon the super warrior basically to fight against like armies of demons? Like the combat looks interesting. It looks like really well rhythmed. Like it kind of like it feels like kind of like Doom, but more like even more rhythm and less Doom. You know, like completely new IP. And I don't know, like the protagonist looks cool, like it's kind of like a demon invasion. Like it looks interesting. It's interesting. Like I don't know. Is there a release date? Well, they say like every time, like someday. Coming 2026. Okay. You know what? Not a good trailer. No, not a bad trailer. Not a bad trailer. Actually, like interesting. Okay. Okay, one last trailer. The worst of the worst. Yeah, you're about to fucking understand that like you never saw horror before. Super Mario Galaxy movie. Ever heard of it? Super Mario? Yeah, I know, right? The joke is bad. Don't forget to unsubscribe, leave a dislike, and a hateful comment under this this video. Thank you so much. Goodbye. All right, let's check this out. So the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Never checked the first one. Might check the second one. Might check the first one. I don't fucking know. Like, I still don't know what the fuck you're supposed to expect out of a Mario movie. Like, so let's check that out.
Hey, big guy! You wanted to see us?
Don't move, I'll be right up. Sipping the soup, cleaning the paint, boodle-little, boodle-little, and also trim the bonsai bush. Here we go. Hey, Luigi! What's up, Mario? Behold! I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors!
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that!
I'll burn the skin off your bones!
Wow. Sorry about that. That's the old Bowser talking.
It was kind of mean, though.
Demons, I suppose. Anyway, I need my 8 hours or else I really turn into a monster.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me.
Okay, this is actually like fucking cool. This is actually quite fucking cool. I don't know.
Zelda Majora's Mask.
Okay, so this is I'll check it out for like another stream. Like okay. No, this is actually really cool. Makes me want to check out the first one. Like I feel that like these are like the types of movies like where like you can remember like the fucking grind, the fucking like desperation, nihilism. Ever heard of this word? Ever? Sorry to remember you. The fucking like this. Ever heard of depression? Ever heard of like all these words? Like I think that like these movies are like this exact like fucking like movies to watch to just feel better, you know, to just feel better, to relax, to kind of just like vibe, you know, to just like kind of like the true getaway type of like movies that like people tell you, yeah, watch a fucking fantasy movie, it will like create like an escape from reality. Fuck that. Like these are the fucking movies. Like this is absolutely, this looks adorable. Even though like Mario was mega mean like for some reason, like this looks adorable. This like looks lighthearted, and it looks like really pretty, like just in general. Like it looks pretty interesting, and just like it doesn't fucking leave you with this fucking existential dread after fucking watching it, which is really nice. Because like kind of nice, no, mega nice, because like I'm done kind of like watching a fucking like TV show or movie and rethinking my whole fucking life each time. While these movies looks like really like the good time, like for you, your family. Like I'll probably watch it just because like it seems like a good fucking like cure for depression, you know. Like you watch this, what's the worst can happen? You buy a Mario game and you have fun playing Mario, you know. So yeah, like for real, like this is like for real. No matter who you are, watch this. This probably you'll have a good time, and for once it won't like makes you like, I don't know, put you in a worse state than you were, you know. Okay. So, okay, let's check this out. I heard about like whatever. Check this out. Let's check this out. Oh, it is in fucking Chinese. What the fuck?
倘若只有被教皇加冕的人才被视作合法的国王，那世俗政权就不过是神权的傀儡。若我可以创立一个不受教廷约束的王国，王位就非我莫属。您的决定影响着边陲镇所有民众的命运，一旦有所差池，您有退路， 他们可以。
我是一名女巫，是邪恶的魔鬼的化身，那是无法抹除的原罪。我也变成女巫了。您是第一次见到女巫吗，大人？您的好奇心可能会害死您啊。
你究竟是一个可怜的女孩，还是一个演技高超的魔鬼？让我看看吧。
您的好奇心满足了吗？现在可以杀死我了吗？
或者，你也可以选择另外一条路，和我一起创造一个女巫也能自由生活的新世界。
我愿意去尝试一下。我要怎么做？
请大家回忆起来，回忆起来，2年前我们所失去的一切。告诉我，你们是愿意躲在长歌要塞的窝棚里，窝囊的饿死，毫无尊严的冻死，还是愿意在我的率领下，保护亲人和伙伴，守卫边陲镇，守卫自己的家园，直到最后一刻？
Okay, can you just explain me that why is this not in Japanese? Actually, an interesting story. Like, witches were ever heard of the Salem trials? Witches were not that fucking like. Now you see all the fucking witches on TikTok. I'm a witch and it's ultra cute. And remember that the same cute witches were also like seen as demons and were fucking burned. Okay, do you understand? Like, historically, people heard about like witches. They burned them. It's like. So this is actually an interesting tale of a leader actually finding a witch and actually choosing to side on the side of the witch. And I don't know, like, it's not my style. I gotta admit, it's not my style. Okay, like, but you know, like, it is interesting enough. Like, it is interesting enough. I don't know. Like, this is a cool concept.
No.
Okay. The man, the legend, the man that you should give $1 trillion and make him king of some unknown, like, of any country, like, give him a planet. He released a video. Fucking Gigok to fall anime 25 in a nutshell. Are you ready for that? I'm not ready. I might call my mom because, like, call my mom and my friends, tell them, like, it's finally there. It's finally there. So we gotta. So yeah, we're gonna enjoy fall anime 2025 in a nutshell. Yes. And I'm gonna compare because, like, I've been watching some anime these days. Like, for real, I struggle to have this, like, anime that really, like, that, like, catch me, you know, like. Anyway.
So what the hell do I do now? It's fall anime, and guys, look, it's just a normal anime video that's not gonna take years.
Just come back real quick. I need a refreshment. Okay.
of my life to produce. I'm sorry. I've missed you so much. I swear I'll never go away again. It feels so good to be back, and God, what a season of anime to come back to. We've got oh, One Punch Man Season 3. How long have we been waiting for this? Okay, what else have we got here? Oh, My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me. That's one of the most popular shows this season. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe we need to go down the list. There's probably some hidden gems somewhere.
Yeah, same. Like, I've seen what releases these days, and it's like, if it's not like new season of fucking like, I'm just like, there are like new stuff versus like what is it called, Gargantuas or something like that. Let me say Dun 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 is really good. And where is it? Yeah, fuck. A Secret Salad Witch. And Gachakuta. Like that's pretty much all that I found this fucking season.
Somewhere around here, right? Like, oh, look at this. This is beautiful. This, I think, is one of the best looking shows this season. And what's it about?
The fuck?
Barn 2 by Gant Manitapo. Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, My Hero Academia. What do they all have in common? Their sequels airing this season, and also you can get them in today's sponsor, Displate. Displate offers high-quality steel posters with officially licensed art from over 200 different brands, and that includes anime as well. I've already mentioned a few, but you've also got stuff like Gundam, Dandadan, Freeren, and of course myself. As a big anime fan, I chose to get myself an Arsenal poster. Because yes, I'm a Gooner. I've also personally partnered with Displate, and Barn Displates are available right now. This is the key visual that you can buy. And you know what?
This is awesome.
Pique your interests, that's fine. You can create your own custom Displates as well.
So Barn is actually like the anime that fucking like Geekok released. I'll give it a try because like, but still it hasn't. It's like. Just ask him, I don't have to.
Well, a fast, simple way to turn any image into a premium metal poster. You can just upload a photo, artwork, or graphic, get an instant preview, and place your order in minutes. And it's also super easy and simple to mount it to any wall with their magnetic mounting system. So guys, if you're interested, now is the best time to get in on this because Displate are doing a Black Friday special with bigger discounts than they've ever had. So if you want to get on this yourself, you can click that link in the description and use coupon code GIGUK for 37% off 1 or 2 displates, 43% off 3 or 4 displates, and 46% off for 5 displates or more. That's almost half off, guys. Come on. Thank you once again to Displate for sponsoring me today. And with that said, back to the video.
俺ダンス部に入りたいんだけど。ランニングマンだっけ？
Oh my gosh, that skill! Is he the holy warrior?
God, sometimes you find a show that you really want to like, and this one ticks off so many boxes for great potential. The art direction is absolutely beautiful. The characterization of the two leads feels really grounded and down to earth. This genuinely feels like it's going to be a really touching story about a guy discovering his passion for street dance. And then we get to the actual dance scenes. I tried to be a bit more open-minded about CG, considering anime fans will overreact no matter how good the CG is, but yep, this ain't one of those moments.
Oh my god, really good!
This unfortunately just isn't up to par with the standards modern anime has proven it can produce, and it's a real—
This is absolutely true, and 3D, like, no, like, so, like, if you grew up with 2D anime that is, like, so fucking, like, expensive to fucking, like, do, 3D anime actually cut costs. That's why they do it, right? But, like, the problem is, It's just not. It's, you just see that, and it's just like, please get this out of my fucking sight, thank you. And not a lot of animes, like for real. I cannot even find one anime where it's like it's okay, you know. To give you this example, and I watched more than 13 animes for sure. All right.
Oh, shame, because wait, did the main character just mention Scatman? Wait, are they actually just playing Scatman? What is going on? They're just playing Scatman. They're playing Scatman in an anime. What timeline are we living in? Compared to the usual seasons, it definitely does feel a lot quieter in terms of big budget, high production sequels. But we still got Spy Family, To Your Eternity. I didn't enjoy the second season as much.
The problem is, like, if it's a fucking sequel, well, watch the fucking two first seasons, you fucking pagan, right? And that's the problem with a lot of this, where it's like, I started watching like My Hero Academia, and then stopped. I never fucking plan to watch fucking like the next because I'm so done with this anime. And it's like, yeah, it got released. Yeah, not for me at all. And like there are like some others, like some other anime that like might come up, and it's like, yeah, thank you for like the season 3 of my fucking god. If I want to fucking like, it's like, if it's a good anime, it's fine because you get like, oh, it's a season 3 of what okay, 2 seasons of a fucking good anime. But like, it's the same with Spy Family. Like I got into it and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not for me, you know. It's like, and from that I'm like, well, Season 2 got announced. Well, Season 3 got announced. Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan, happy for you. But like, for me, it's like, it means nothing. It's like a fucking like blank fucking like
Now
thing.
that we're in the modern day, I might just have to jump back into this. Ranma, Umumusame.
That horse better win. We're taking a trip to the glue factory.
Then, of course, we have the final season of My Hero Academia. You know, when I put Season 7 on my best of anime list last year and found myself falling back in love with My Hero, even I was not prepared for what this final season is delivering. This is going to be the end of My Hero Academia, and it is going out with the most emphatic bang deserving of a finale of this decade-long series. They have pulled out all the stops here, and Bones are absolutely killing it. And then we got the highly anticipated new season of One Punch Man, and I gotta say, they are also absolutely killing it. It's dead. It's fucking dead.
That skill! Is he the holy warrior?
A fellow hitman. That looks like the silent assassin.
It's not him.
Oh shit, it's evidence in the Starbucks. Alright, from the setup, this does feel like your bog standard isekai.
Hey, I've been reading that one too. Didn't know you liked isekai.
Classroom gets transported, they have to save the world, and everyone gets assigned a special class.
This thing says I'm a wind mage.
But you know what? I'm just digging the retro feel of this show. This clearly takes inspiration from 90s anime isekai fantasy, and I'm talking real old school fantasy. Not just with the art style, which is just absolute chef's kiss, but by adding a main character that actually reflects the main characters of those times. See, before this modern day of isekai, where you're whisked away to another world and everyone just accepts their place there, we used to have isekai protagonists that would go on an adventure to look for a way to find a way back home, which is a concept I haven't seen since... Shut up. This brought me back to an older era of fantasy, and you know what? This might be enough to stave off the fact that this might be the worst assassin I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he has the skills to make himself completely invisible, so he has the bright idea to reveal his face to the villain, threaten her, and leave without doing anything. Oh well, at least he broke the cursed crystal in the process.
That solves the problem of the hero's curse.
Ain't no way! Of course, we've got our usual isekai fantasy suspects elsewhere in the season as well. Past the monster meat milady is about to go, searching for some premium monster meat. Oh, yeah. This is not what the Japanese name translates into. There's gender-bent overlord with a dummy-mommy version of Ainz Al Ghul. Im's gonna goon. New Digimon, that counts as isekai, right? Toei Animation are bringing Digimon to a new generation with new character design.
They actually did so much work to actually like do something new for Digimon. Like actually, I've seen the trailer. Like this looks good. This looks good. For once, like Digimon actually fucking like fucking did something great. Check this out. If you didn't like, this will actually blow your mind. If you want to get back into your nostalgia, because this is worth it. This is actually worth it.
New art direction, revamping everything for the modern audience by making our new protagonist wear Crocs. Okay, guys, we've gone too far. But wait, I haven't even gone to the best ones yet, like Hero Without a Class, Who Even Needs Skills? Come on, guys, you need to be watching this one. Or how about Vanished Court Magician aims to become the strongest? Guys, are you even an anime fan if you're not watching this one? Just like with possibly the greatest alchemist of all time. I'm sure you know this one. That's not even from the season. I just copied and pasted the show from a previous script to see if anyone would notice. And guys, we can't forget about my gift level 9,999 unlimited gacha backstab in a backwater dungeon. I'm out for revenge. Everyone this year keeps talking about Dan, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, but for some reason no one is talking about my gift level 9,999 unlimited gacha backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. I'm out for revenge. You know, the series that has this guy who has a gift where he summons level 9,999 servants with his unlimited gacha after being backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, so he's out for revenge. And I really think the entire world is sleeping on my gift level 9,999 unlimited gacha. Look, as a gacha gamer myself, it was actually kind of entertaining seeing an anime superpower that is literally just a guy pulling powerful units in a gacha game. Is this guy really a representation of gacha gamers? I mean, look, he's actually interacting with real women here. Oh my god, he's a gacha gamer. Oh my god, he's a gacha gamer!
Garn, can you do the dishes like I asked you to?
Okay, they're done! We got Dusk Beyond the End of the World. They pull you in with this really interesting dystopian future that looks gorgeous, and action that is just woo! And then you add Disney-level cartoonishly evil villains, a naive goody two-shoe MC, and an impressive organization that controls and monitors their population called Orwell.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
But hey, at least you can marry multiple people in this timeline. Look, the protagonist is given a choice between this girl, a woman in love with her brother, and an android. Yes, the future where our choice is lolly, incest, or AI. This is the future anime fans wanted. Ninjas vs. Gokudo, a secret war between the Ninja Clan and the Gokudo Clan, where there is absolutely no way of knowing who is who.
The name's Kiwami Kimura, spelled Gokudo but pronounced Kiwami. What's yours?
Shinoha Tanaka, but you'll see the kanji spells ninja.
There is absolutely no way! We got cute girls doing cute things, overworked, struggling manga edition, where we get to watch a manga artist miss sleep, cry about deadlines, and wish she got more job satisfaction. I can't tell if this is a slice of life or a cry for help. Little Miss Vampire can't suck right. Yeah, I bet she does. Alright, this one's actually pretty cute.
Don't say it!
Say what?
Don't even think about it!
Think about what? I don't know what you're talking about.
I swear, don't do it!
She got that dog in her.
Oh, God!
Look, I tried to come into every anime with a blank slate. No preconceptions, no judgments. So looking at this shoujo romance with a human girl and a wolf person, you probably have some ideas. But look, have you thought it could be so much more than that? I mean, what if this is a...
No. No. If you cannot fucking like... If you cannot fucking promote me like next gen fucking like romance anime... A dog will not do it, okay? A dog will not fucking like change the game. And if it does, I will be disappointed because I will have preferred like a romance anime without the fucking dog. Do you understand? There is no winning in here. There's only losing.
Succinct exploration of complex issues like segregation and racism through the lens of entirely different species interacting with each other. Like, so what if the main girl likes admiring this beast man's rock hard abs in the steamy shower, that doesn't mean she's down bad. Just because she's not repulsed when he's explaining to her the idea of the forbidden moon, where beastmen get an uncontrollable urge to aggressively push down and mate with the nearest partner that's triggered by a smell that results in all of their primal desires taking over their body. So she decides to limit test that herself. Okay, maybe she's a little down bad, but he's definitely up goods. And you know what? So what if they are? Is there something wrong with different species getting together? We're all alive. We're all human. We all share the same DNA. We're all evolved from the same monk. We all came from the same primordial soup. We shared that same single-celled organism as an ancestor. So is this really an interspecies relationship? I'm just saying, maybe we should look at ourselves before judging other people, okay? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I play Zenless Zone Zero. Alright, this is just a bit too much. What kind of person is into this shit?
ずっと君を探していたんですから。私は君を食べに来ました。
Okay, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't judge the furries too quickly. Ah yes, another fine addition to the Toxic Yuri collection. We have the Shape of Water, Lesbian Vor edition, giving us the hydration we most definitely deserve in this dry season. I don't know what it says about anime that two of the most beautiful looking shows this season somehow have one character inadvertently trying to eat their love interest. We got Japan's latest attempt to get their population to reproduce with Alma-chan Wants to Be a Family, where tech bros are so determined to not have sex they're using AI and robotics to make a child for them. And look, this is cute and all, but at this point, I gotta wonder if shows like this actually have an effect.
Oh, God damn it, she is so cute! My ovaries can't take it!
And now for one of the newest and most popular villainess anime about the most elegant, dignified lady, living the grand life you'd expect from any true noble woman. From refining her taste with some elegant tea, to always showing proper etiquette that is to be expected of such a high-class woman. This is a lady who truly embodies the philosophy, the lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
Okay.
Cause in the immortal words of Spike Spiegel, I just love a woman who can kick my ass.
Actually, just kill me.
And that's why you should be watching this show.
Let me just check one thing real quick. Okay, let's keep going.
勘を遡る力、そんなものが存在するの。秘密ですからね。もし言ったらお仕置きですよ。
Everyone! This woman has the power to turn back time!
At some point, I will kill you.
I'm onto her now. She wants to make me her boyfriend.
Ah.
It seems to be what's wrong.
The average I can fix her, bro. Science Saru have fully cemented themselves as the studio that does weirdo shit. They found their calling, adapting a series like Dandadan, and seem to be continuing that momentum with a series from the creator of Beastars, Sanda. Right from the outset, I just love how everything they do has such a unique aesthetic, while still bringing that quality of animation you'd expect from them. And now they've finally given us another Christmas-themed anime. And if you're looking for something festive to watch this holiday season, I can guarantee that this will be your favorite Christmas story about a girl who wants to find her missing best friend, so she stabs a kid to cloak him in red so he'll awaken his hidden bloodline of Santa Claus, transforming into him so he can grant her wish, reigniting the spirit of Christmas, where the concept of holidays is forbidden in a dystopian world, and they fight against the anti-Claus faction to make people believe in Santa Claus again, which will in turn combat Japan's declining birth rate. Either that or Orimo. We got an anime about a group of people stuck on a spaceship, except one of the crew members is an imposter human who's actually an alien and is secretly killing everyone. So each day they take it in turns to vote on a crew member until that imposter is found. And
Sus? Sus? Is that sus? Is something is sus about this anime?
Guys, I know what you're thinking, but come on, there are plenty of games with this setup. This is actually based on a game itself, you know? So as long as they just don't... Oh, for fuck. God, sometimes you get an anime that's so painfully a light novel adaptation, and Chitose in the Ramune bottle feels like it's trying to be your next bunny girl senpai, or Origaru, except goddamn, is this protagonist no Hachiman? Like, I know this is meant to be a new take where the protagonist is actually a popular guy this time, but like, I can't quite put it into words. The main character is trying really hard to be a main character. I'm not talking about your cool aura farming protagonist. I'm talking r/I am the main character. I peaked in high school energy. Along with this posse of girls that glaze him so much, his ass might as well be roasted ham. Like, there's this guy who refuses to come out of his room because they think the main character is too smug and cocky, and then he thinks, maybe bringing out my glazing squad will convince him otherwise. And when that fails, what's the next logical step he decides to do? Bro is a kick streamer who missed his canon event. Every so often, you get a show that gives absolutely zero fucks if you are the person it's trying to appeal to, yet it draws you in anyway with how much fun it seems to be having without you. Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider is exactly just that. A 40-year-old man obsessed with Kamen Rider who gets his chance to kick ass and live his childhood fantasy by becoming the modern-day Kamen Rider. I am not a fan of Kamen Rider. I did not grow up with Kamen Rider, but goddamn does everything about this show speak to me on a spiritual level that transcends having to be a fan of this franchise. This is a guy who was so obsessed with Kamen Rider, he beat up a gang of school bullies just by believing he could transform into him. He goddamn wrestled a bear into submission. Does it make any bloody sense? No. Can one man actually do this? No. But who the hell cares when you have a man getting to live out his childhood dream, shedding full-on manly tears by becoming the superhero he always wanted? Power! This is just one for the guys out there. Oh no, but I'm not middle-aged yet. I can't relate to him. Shut the hell up. We all know that every man, no matter what age they find themselves as, secretly yearns.
This looks like the type of anime that you can watch. This is your seasonal anime that you'll forget about. That it's just a good time.
To be that boy again, doing that shit we daydreamed about, and if you've just felt one iota of that feeling, this anime is going to speak to you. This is my new favorite genre now. Midlife crisis anime.
Today I feel gay.
2025 has been a landmark year for the sister genre, with shows like the Shuinji family, introducing 5 little sisters in one package. But now, in fall, we present the newest scientific discovery in the world of anime. Presenting Schrodinger's Imoto, a sister that lives in a superposition of incest and not related by blood that will remain that way until the observer chooses to view the DNA results. Or as it's colloquially known, Orimo for cowards. Look, I love another entry into the teasing genre as much as anyone, but damn, this bitch is trying so hard to be Nagatoro. I don't know, something about the show is just sounding off all the alarms in my head, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
イロハは秋が好きなんだと思うよ。はあ？ありえないだろう。
先輩に振り向いて欲しかったから。
Wait a minute. This is just the Pokemon Red edition of boy-girl friendship.
なんちゃって。
No, no, I can't do this again. Surely there's got to be another reason to watch this show.
とりあえず寝ましょう。
ごめんなさい。私15歳以上の男は。
Damn, finally, someone respectable in this show.
ちょっと。
Well, at least now I have time to catch up on previous seasons. Yeah, exactly. Like, this season has been so poor. When it comes to, like, anime. Oh my. Like, there is, like, it has been, like, unless, he actually didn't talk about it. Unless you check out, Secret of Silent Witch. Actually, Secrets of Silent Witch is actually really promising. And Gachakuta, or like, fucking don't remember anymore. Like, Gachakuta, yeah. So yeah, except that, fucking nothing. Fucking nothing. Like, go cry, go cry. But like, at least they're good. They're actually like worth watching. Actually, this is interesting. Let me just okay, let's keep going. The lie that helped build Nintendo. I'm actually curious about this one.
In 1981, a young Swede called Uwe Bergsten strolled through Singapore to pass the time before his flight home. After a busy Christmas running his electronics shop, he and his business partners had travelled to the Far East, idly looking for the products they could import before the next Christmas. Passing a camera shop, he spotted a 2-button LCD game called Vyrah RC4 in the window. An acquaintance had told him not long before that LCD games were the future, far better than the simple LED handhelds people had been playing recently. Uwe bought it on a whim. Sitting down for the flight, he turned it on and got hooked. He played it for the entirety of the return flight, playing past the pad with his seat neighbour. When that flight was unexpectedly diverted due to fog, he played it on the 3-hour bus ride he was then forced to take back home to Gothenburg. As he travelled, always playing or waiting to play, he started to wonder who'd made this compulsive little rectangle, and if he could sell them too. Besides the labels for the buttons,
and this was the Game & Watch. Remember, like, Mr. Game & Watch in fucking Smash Bros. Melee? Yeah, it's from there. The Game & Watch, it's from this fucking, like, game. Yeah.
Console itself. Game & Watch, made in Japan, Nintendo.
Check this out.
That played it on the 3-hour bus ride he was then forced to take back to the organization. Soon forced to handhelds people had been playing recently.
Okay.
Uwe bought it on a whim.
So you've seen in Super Smash Bros. Melee, Game & Watch. Ever thought about like where the fuck it comes from? Obviously, you ever thought about who the fuck is Game & Watch? It's from here. It's from here. It comes. It's like different characters from here, from this little game. Can you believe it? Obviously, you believe it. Like it makes sense, but like unbelievable. No, it's believable, but like incredible, huh?
Sitting down for the flight, the power or sell them too. Besides the labels for the buttons, he didn't have much to go on when it came to information on the console itself. Game & Watch, made in Japan, Nintendo. That last word seemed the best lead, so he called a local trade organisation and came away with a telex number. Soon after, somewhere in its tiny Tokyo export office, a Nintendo employee pulled a short and extremely abbreviated message out of a printer. It read,
give me just a second.
to information on the console itself, always playing or waiting to. He played it
Oh,
sitting
that's
down
fine.
for the flight.
Oh.
He turned it on and got hooked. He played it for the entirety.
Sorry
Besides the
for
labels for the buttons, he didn't have much to go on when it came to information on the console itself. Game & Watch, made in Japan, Nintendo. That last word seemed the best lead, so he called a local trade organisation and came away with a telex number. Soon after, somewhere in its tiny Tokyo export office, a Nintendo employee pulled a short and extremely abbreviated message out of a printer. It read, over 3 decades later, an older, wiser, richer Bergston looks at me across a table, presenting the telex he sent after the first. His well-appointed office sits in a building furnished by the money he's made through, for and with Nintendo over the years. That's not an exaggeration. The building's address is Mario's Gata 21, 21 Mario Street. This telex set the course for the rest of Bergston's life, introduced Nintendo to Europe on a scale it had never seen, and arguably helped pave the way for its move into Western markets as a whole. Without this piece of paper, gaming as we know it could be entirely different.
At that time it was very easy to lie, because the internet was not invented.
So, I ask him, that first formal communication to Nintendo was a lie?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, this is interesting.
I first heard of Uwe Bergston in a pub in 2017. His story told like some kind of Swedish folktale. It was the story of a man, a lie, a video game handheld, and a business empire. And it was told with such breathless enthusiasm that I kept buying pints so that I could hear more. This man sounded less like a successful business owner than some globe-hopping trickster hero. And the more I speak to people who know him, the more it becomes apparent that that's just how people talk about Uwe Bergston. 2 weeks later, unable to stop wondering if anything about the story I'd heard was actually true, I organised to meet Bergston at his office. When I arrived, I explained that I'd love for him to tell me his story from the beginning, how he got here. Bergston clearly understands his public perception, even plays up to it. "You want the true version?" he joked. "I have much better versions." I'm not entirely sure that's possible. Today, Bergston's company Bergsala effectively is Nintendo Sweden. It's also Nintendo Denmark, Norway, and Finland. Scroll to the bottom of any of these regions' official Nintendo websites, you'll see the name Bergsala as part of the copyright information. It's a position it takes seriously. Kids travel to its nondescript headquarters, situated off a motorway exit south of Gothenburg, just to see the Mario warp pipe that pokes incongruously through the suburban scenery. There's a Nintendo museum, or possibly a shrine, in the Bergsala lobby, complete with a picture of a young Bergston beaming in a pile of Game & Watches. In his office, there's a signed Miyamoto sketch of Mario, with hand-drawn Super Mario World font-style text, reading, "To Mr. Bergston." It's not just a testament to what Nintendo did for Bergsala, but vice versa. In many ways, Sweden, through Bergsala, became a Western testing ground for Nintendo, a huge early success that proved there was a desire for the work of Miyamoto and Gunpei Yokoi outside of their homeland. And it was built, in the nicest possible way, on a lie. A very simple lie. Bergston used his telex to present Bergsala as a much bigger company than it was, a distribution organisation capable of acting as Nintendo's sole Swedish distributor for Game & Watch. Essentially, it didn't sound like an electronics shop with a side hustle in Asian imports. It would have been unthinkable for Bergston to guess where that little fabrication would take him, but he very nearly didn't cross the first few hurdles on that journey at all. What followed feels more like a stage farce than a business success story. After selling a sample run of 250 Game & Watch units, Bergston organised to visit both Nintendo's Tokyo export office and its HQ in Kyoto. Because he wasn't yet a wealthy man, he booked what he calls the very, very cheapest tickets. He'd have a grand total of 2 days to visit 2 unfamiliar cities. He couldn't change his flight dates, and if anything went wrong, he'd be speaking English, a second language to him, to people who might not even speak it at all. And then, across the world, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10's engine just stopped working during takeoff. Guess what model of plane Bergston was booked to fly on the next day? The day of his flight, all intact DC-10s were grounded for a day for checks, which really doesn't seem quite enough in retrospect. He was forced to stay a night at the airport, leaving him with a single day to cover both cities.
It's really cool how they did the art using like Game & Watch like retro style for like the storytelling. I really like it. This is really like, you can see that they're passionate about what they do and the story.
It wasn't feasible, and he made the choice to head straight to Kyoto. He arrived on a Thursday night, went to bed exhausted, and woke on Friday with a plan to call Nintendo to let the team know what had happened and when he'd arrive at HQ.
I first called the Tokyo office and there was some answering machine saying something which I didn't understand. Then I called the Kyoto office and there was another answering machine I didn't understand. So I called my hotel reception and asked, "Can you call this number please and tell me what they are saying?" The receptionist called back a minute later. They're saying that today is a national holiday in Japan, so everything is closed.
He'd gone from 2 days to meet Nintendo to 1 day to none at all. His flight home was that weekend. Unless he tried something else, he would have flown to Japan for nothing and missed his chance to meet anyone from Nintendo. He summoned up a tried and tested strategy. He told a little lie and managed to persuade Japan Airlines to extend his trip. He told them that this was an emergency, that it wasn't his fault, that he had to stay longer, things like that. And it worked, again, and he had the Monday to, in his words, force his way into Kyoto. After nearly missing his train that would actually get him there, I told you this was a farce, he finally made it with no real plan of what to do, other than just turn up and ask for someone to talk to him. Uwe Bergston tells me he has 4 rules for conducting conversations with Japanese businessmen, learned from a friend before his trip to meet Nintendo, and still helpful today. They're as follows.
Number 1. Always bring a gift. It should not be a wooden thing or anything. It should be crystal glass. This is the only thing you should buy. Number 2. Don't nag. In the Western culture we can blah 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 too many things. In Japanese culture you should not ask for too much. The important things you should concentrate on to achieve them. Number 3. Try to get them to invite you to lunch, or even better, dinner. Number 4. You'll never meet the right person, because they have a wall of protection. You'll meet someone on the periphery. You need to work to meet who you need to.
All of these would come into play as he negotiated his first major deal with Nintendo. In what's fast becoming clear is a typical Bergston move, his first action was to just tell Nintendo's export manager that he was in town unannounced and asked to come to the office. Then came the negotiation, and rule number 2, don't nag, a rule which he didn't immediately remember. First, he asked for the distribution rights for Sweden, then he asked for Scandinavia, then he asked for all of Europe. Remember, this is a man who owns an electronics shop business, he's just pretending to own a distribution network. And then he remembered rule 2.
I suddenly realized that this was not the way to do it, so I asked for Sweden and we talked. We just talked.
They talked about a lot more than distribution rights. Bergston explained Swedish history, Swedish culture. He laid out his country as much like a tourism guide as it was an advert for his business, and he did it with an ulterior motive.
I wanted the time to pass, and suddenly lunchtime came.
Rule number 3.
He said, "Shall we go for lunch?" "Yes, of course," I said. "That would be fantastic."
Even better, lunch got abandoned in favour of a 3-hour dinner. Well, dinner and drinks.
He drank a lot. I mean, we both drank a lot, so he was not 100% sober when he let me off at the hotel.
It laid the perfect groundwork for the pièce de résistance. Rule number 1.
I said, "I have a small gift for you. I would like to thank you very much for taking such good care of me."
He handed the export manager a package, which he opened immediately, a small crystal ashtray.
Then when we got out of the car, he said to me, "Okay, you can have Sweden."
The white-ish lies, the bullish approach to business, the rules, and perhaps most of all the alcohol, led to a decision that altered the gaming business. But then a kicker. His new friend told him that the minimum order was 10,000 units. Bergseller had found it hard to sell 250 Game & Watches in the months previous. And that's not even taking into account the money involved.
10,000 units was the equivalent of something like €100,000 in orders. That was a lot of money at that time for a small electronics dealer. Bergston went home, had what he calls some very, very tough negotiations with the bank, and ordered 10,000 new Game & Watches. And then, because he's Uwe Bergston, he upped the order to 30,000. He never really tells me why.
Christmas 1981, less than a year after his trip to Singapore, was when Bergston's approach finally paid dividends. But rather than a holiday boom, it was just the start. Those 30,000 units sold out quickly. In the first 3 months of 1982, Bergston says the company sold 180,000 units. A month. Bergston and Nintendo each knew they were onto a winner. In June of '82, Bergston returned to Japan, and Nintendo showed him its new dual-screen Game & Watches, which included a simplified version of Donkey Kong, the Miyamoto-made coin-op that had exploded in arcades around the world at around the same time as Bergston's early successes. It was clear how well this was going to do from the outset.
We bought as many as we could. We went around in Sweden showing this to big toy dealers. It was the best sales trip I ever been on, because everybody wanted it.
The demand was as unmanageable as it was welcome.
In the Christmas of '82, if a customer ordered 100 units, they got one.
By early 1983, Bergsala had sold 1.7 million Game & Watches in Sweden. To get a measure of that success, bear in mind quite how small Sweden is. In 1983, it was a country of around 8.3 million people. Bergston breaks this down further.
We were aiming for around 7 to 12, something like that, and only boys, almost only boys. If you take that target group, you could say that probably every kid had 5 games.
By comparison, Bergston says that Germany, 61 million people in 1983, sold as much in a year as Sweden did in a month. It's not easy to check the validity of those figures. Nintendo doesn't release them publicly, but it's very clear that Sweden massively overperformed. But then, in Sweden in 1983, Game & Watch just stopped selling.
Okay.
You might expect at this point for the story to go from boom to bust, but it didn't work out like that. While Europe had been interested in Game & Watch, but still relatively ignorant of Nintendo as a whole, Bergston suspected that the company behind his breakout success was going to be useful for more than its LCD games. He kept in touch, despite the downturn, even kept paying to visit, despite he and Nintendo having nothing to show one another. It was a worthwhile expense.
Bergston thinks it was in August 1983 that Nintendo showed him the Famicom for the very first time. Nintendo's landmark home console had been released in Japan the month before and was already a huge success. Bergston took home some sample units and a TV capable of displaying the foreign NTSC signal they outputted. He became convinced that it would be another Game & Watch for him, inspired in part by the reaction of his staff.
All our personnel came early in the morning. They didn't go for lunch, and they stayed late in the evening just to play.
He begged Nintendo to just release the Famicom in the West, but Nintendo said the flop of the Atari 2600 the year before and the resulting video games crash meant it couldn't be confident in a TV-based game product. History tells us that Nintendo would recreate the Famicom as the Nintendo Entertainment System, releasing it in the US in 1985 and Europe in 1986. It's perhaps the biggest testament to just how much Uwe Bergston had impressed Nintendo that history almost played out differently.
Bergston kept visiting and kept begging. In 1984, Nintendo showed him an early version of Super Mario Bros. He thinks he may even have been the first foreigner ever to see the game. And he only begged more. It got to the point where Nintendo, possibly just to shut him up, suddenly seemed to change its mind.
Nintendo told Bergston that because Sweden was the only European country interested in it, it would simply release a version of the original Famicom there and nowhere else. This wasn't idle talk. His company put in an order between 5,000 and 10,000 units. Later that year, as the US got the NES, Nintendo changed its mind. It wanted to create a European NES, tailored for the entire market. In retrospect, Bergston says it was the correct decision, but it feels like only he could have forced Nintendo to make an incorrect one through sheer force of charm.
Yeah, technically you have to remember that, like, we talk about, like, we forgot how, like, American business functions, and we talk about, like, some Swedish people. Ever saw someone Swedish? Ever saw how fucking adorable these people are? We talk about, like, these people are absolutely well-willed, like, good-willed, like, nice people, like, not scary people and stuff, and it's just, like, just really nice people in general. So it's just, like, just to remind you that, like, all this story is really wholesome because like Swedish people, Japanese people are really like a different kind of people. It's not like this fucking like Western, cold, really mean type of people. And so the story is actually really wholesome. Just remember that.
NES, somewhat inevitably at this point, became a huge success for Bergsala and more or less cemented the company as a permanent partner for Nintendo. Bergston became a part of the furniture. He was the first person outside of Nintendo to play the Game Boy, he played golf with the company's board members, and has always stayed in touch with that export manager he'd gotten drunk with all those years ago.
As Nintendo's wealth and power grew, it expanded more confidently into the West. Nintendo of America, which had opened in 1980 as a coin-op-focused business, was transformed into a fully fledged arm of the core business. Not long after, it adopted one of Bergsala's most unique business moves.
We started the Nintendo Club, and they copied that.
When NES launched, Bergsala had created a members club, a way to connect the kids looking forward to its titles, inform them about upcoming releases, and, inevitably, put pressure on stores to buy in stock of games as those kids came in to ask when those same games would be available. It was an incredible success, an almost hilariously devious, corporate-sponsored grassroots movement. At one point, around 5% of the entire Swedish population was a part of Bergsala's Nintendo Club. It's no surprise that after Bergston had a golf meeting with Nintendo of America founder Minoru Arakawa, Nintendo Fun Club suddenly appeared, followed by the epochal Nintendo Power. Bergston is too humble to say that his company and its successes were an inspiration for Nintendo to expand into the West so suddenly and meaningfully, but his club is proof that Nintendo was very much paying attention. Elsewhere, Bergsala's influence is much easier to spot. Nintendo of Europe was founded in 1990 and began creating country-specific businesses across the continent, except in Scandinavia. It's a mark of the esteem with which Bergsala's held that not only did Nintendo apparently turn down lucrative offers from other companies to run its Swedish operation, it actively encouraged Bergsala to take over distribution across Scandinavia as a whole. In the early days, Nintendo worked
God damn, this is what you get when you do good business, huh? Fuck yeah, like this dude actually did honest business, found randomly like some fucking Game & Watch, actually saw the idea, wanted to promote it, and do you know what you get when you fucking do good business? Well, you get a good fucking business partnership and good fucking business story. What the fuck?
Exclusively with third-party distributors for its Western releases. Today, Bergsala is the only non-Nintendo-owned Nintendo distributor in the world.
In the context of that global operation, Bergsala doesn't really have to deal directly with Nintendo Japan anymore. But Bergston calls his contacts there on their birthdays, and returns every year just to stay in touch. I like to think he still turns up at the office unannounced for old time's sake. He tells me it's a business tactic, but I feel like it's something closer to friendship. He may have told a lie to get Nintendo's business, but the key was that lie came out of love. He was a fan of Nintendo from its very first handheld, and he remains so. Nintendo saw that love and gave him loyalty in return.
Bergston's repaid that loyalty, and even paid it forward. His company now co-owns several game developers and publishers, many of whom started as bullish, Bergston-like upstarts themselves, and now release games for Nintendo platforms. It's mind-boggling to think of the magnitude at which that one opening lie has had a positive effect. A butterfly, flapping wings made of telex paper. Eventually, and inevitably, that flap hit me too.
Back in 2017, when I finished conducting this interview, I said my goodbyes to Uwe and headed to Gothenburg Airport. And while I waited for my flight, I started working on a preview I'd been putting off writing. It was for Super Mario Odyssey.
So basically, it was the lie is that like it was like bigger than it was just an electronics store, basically, and it pretended to be like a big seller.
As I wrote, I got enthused, got lost in the moment, and when I looked up again, I'd missed my flight home.
After I stopped screaming, it popped into my head just how neat a coincidence it was that I'd been writing about a game Bergsala would be selling in just a few months. And then I started thinking about how that game could be traced back through the years, the number of decisions made just half an hour down the road that could legitimately have led to a point where there wasn't a Super Mario Odyssey to write about. If Bergsala hadn't set the precedent, would the Nintendo of Europe office where I saw the game even exist? If the NES release date had changed, would it have been hit by the video game crash and changed how Nintendo makes consoles? Hell, I started my career at Official Nintendo magazine, itself a reflection of those Nintendo Club brochures. Would I be writing at all without them? If Bergston hadn't lied, would any of this be the same? None of it is certain, and it hinges on the man who sent that telex.
And then I...
So...
Snap back to reality. I still had to get a plane home. I decided to nab a technique from the man I'd just spent an afternoon talking to. I queued for the airline check-in desk, and when I got to the front, I told them I had to get home today. It was an emergency, that they should change my ticket for free. If he could do it back in 1981 and build a mutually beneficial business empire on the back of it, I could manage it for a budget flight to Luton Airport. Of course it didn't work. I'm no Uwe Bergston.
Yeah, it was different time. Different times, that's it. What a beautiful story. What a beautiful story. The art style is absolutely like charming. You can see that like they really they really found like an adorable story from like and they really fucking ran with it. Like I'm really happy with it. Really happy with it. This was like quite a magical story. Okay, let's watch some WoW. Let's wait. Okay, I am ready. You are ready. You're always ready. You can just pause. Whatever. Let's watch some WoW. It's been a while since I haven't reacted to some fucking WoW. So let's check this out.
Hey guys, what's up? Mad Season here, back with another video for you. Season of Discovery is out. Currently the level cap is 50, and soon...
I discovered Mad Season before a classic WoW. I remember how fucking like deep into the nostalgia I was just like watching him talking about like WoW classic.
Players will be getting into the endgame content, and some believe it'll go down the full Classic Plus route with new raids and zones, levels and whatnot, especially with the release of the official timeline where at the end for Season of Discovery, the developers tease endgame content updates, which could mean anything really, but whatever it may be, many at least want it to be within the spirit of vanilla. So whatever that means also varies from person to person, but what could be more close than what the original developers planned back before its release? So that's going to be the focus of today. Though World of Warcraft is quite a large game, it was intended to be much larger. There are quite a lot of zones, instances, and features that were planned at one point, but they were scrapped due to one reason or another, usually due to a lack of time. So in this video, we're going to show them to see what could potentially be in store for those checking out the Season of Discovery, if Classic Plus is indeed the route that they go down. So some of these you may know of, some maybe not. Let's just start with the big one, and that's the Ashbringer questline. One of the earliest fables within
Okay, let's check out which ones I know, which ones I don't know.
The game was that in Vanilla WoW, players could obtain the iconic Ashbringer, which was once held.
Let me just, really sorry, like I lost lost some footage because... Okay.
By the leader of the Silver Hand, Alexandros Mograine, and it makes sense.
Okay, this is actually really, really interesting. I need to fucking save this out. Right. All right. My bad. Let's keep going. So.
And that's the Ashbringer questline. One of the earliest fables within the game was that in Vanilla WoW, players could obtain the iconic Ashbringer, which was once held by the leader of the Silver Hand, Alexandros Mograine, and it makes sense. From the Four Horsemen fight in Extramus, players can obtain the corrupted Ashbringer, and there exists some extra lore in the Scarlet Monastery dungeon. If you take it to the Cathedral Wing, the mobs become friendly, and you get a unique cutscene with some RP between Alexandros and his son, and even some dialogue with High Inquisitor Fairbanks, alluding that the weapon could be cleansed if you brought it to Mograine's lost son in the Outland, which only mystified players back then because, well, the Outland obviously didn't exist. Regardless, it started a mad scramble of players trying to unlock the secrets to cleansing the corruption. Many fake screenshots started to crop up, and players got so desperate that it would infamously lead to fishing outside of Stratholme because it was jokingly referenced in a flavor item that you looted in the Altric Valley battleground. This itself would later be referenced by Blizzard actually for unlocking an alternate appearance for the Legion artifact version of the weapon. But combining all of this with the fact that the weapon does actually exist within the game files, it's not surprising that it became one of the game's most popular myths. But for one reason or another, probably because casters hadn't gotten a legendary yet, they instead went with the Atius chain, and Ashbringer was kinda thrown to the wayside. As time would show, players would finally be able to obtain it during the Legion expansion through the artifact system, but this definitely has potential to see attention within the Season of Discovery. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is certainly opinionated. I think that there's definitely weight to the argument that by giving players such an iconic weapon, it's no longer iconic, and we saw that with Legion, with an Ashbringer around every corner. But maybe making the chain extremely expensive and time-consuming and difficult to finish could potentially be a way to circumvent that. Maybe they can make it a time-limited system like the Scarab Lord, so only a very few lucky players per server would be the recipients. Next, we have a zone that you probably know about.
Joe, I actually glitched it out. I remember there was like a YouTube video that showed you how to, not to glitch it out, but like there was a path to go to Ijo. There was even like a small, like, it's on, still on working, like, but from like the devs, and it was completely empty, like, it was such a zone. So it has such mystery to it, because like basically like it was surrounded and you couldn't access it, but like kind of could see it from far away, you know.
It's Mount Hyjal. Nestled in northern Kalimdor, there's quite a large zone, but when you mouse over it, you'll find that it doesn't have a name, and the closest that players were able to get to it was on a flight path, but with some tricky wall jumping and some persistence, you'd find a zone that seems fully crafted geographically, but just lacking mobs and NPCs. The one exception being the infamous Guardians of Blizzard, which were these infernals that they haphazardly threw about the area that would insta-kill any trespassers to sort of guard the area. It was a very poor band-aid fix, because players could quite easily sneak past them and explore this never-before-seen zone. Some highlights would be the crater where Archimond landed in Warcraft 3. Intriguingly, you also have a clone of the Onyxia raid entrance, clearly showing that there were some plans for another raid in vanilla. And finally, of course, the bones of Archimonde hanging off the world tree, laying in the same spot where he was vanquished in the RTS. This zone would be unfinished for all of vanilla, and would first be repurposed in the Battle of Hyjal raid in the Burning Crusade, and later, of course, in Cataclysm, where it was properly finished with quests, mobs, and NPCs, and players are now enjoying that in Cataclysm Classic, actually. As far as potential content for Classic Plus is concerned, though, this one definitely has a lot of it, and it's usually one of the first zones that people think of for new content in vanilla. After Hyjal, I of course have to follow up with Karazhan. Most know this as the introductory level 70 raid for the Burning Crusade, and then also the remake in Legion, but Karazhan was supposed to be in the vanilla version of the game, and it was ultimately scrapped due to time constraints, and as John Statz described in his book, The World of Warcraft Diary, there were also challenges with level design. The portal lies dormant in vanilla World of Warcraft, as there's no dungeon ID associated with it, and the closest that players ever got was through the creation of Atiesh in Naxxramas, after collecting its shards from the various bosses and defeating Kel'Thuzad. Aside from its high-end stats, upon use, it created a portal straight to Karazhan for its wielder and their raid to use, so clearly there were plans for it to be implemented in some way in vanilla. Although the instance itself didn't exist, that didn't stop players from
Yeah, it's amazing that like ATS, just like other legendaries during vanilla, no one fucking got him, alright? Especially ATS, because Naxxramas, like no one fucking finished it. But like, can you believe it? Like, it teleports you to fucking Karazhan and there's nothing. But next expansion, there's something. But wait until the next expansion. Back then, like, people didn't even expect like an expansion for a while. Like, didn't like existed this expansions didn't have the status that like it has now, where it's like, of course there will be an expansion to Guild Wars, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, what you think about. Like, it's not the case anymore. Like back then it was like, I remember it's like, there's an expansion for WoW. What the fuck, we get more of this? And we did, and we were really fucking surprised and happy.
Along its outskirts, off to the side is what is known as the Karazhan Crypts, which is completely devoid of mobs and NPCs, but nonetheless is quite extensive, containing many catacombs and corridors, and an underwater room called the Pool of Upside Down Sinners. Obviously there were big plans here. Some speculate a dungeon, others even another raid, some just a questing area. Blizzard did eventually make partial use out of this area in the Legion expansion, but whether it be the crypts or even the raid itself, it's certainly one of the big unfinished areas just asking to be finished for Season of Discovery. Azshara is a zone infamous for neglect. Aside from a handful of quests, a molten core reputation that sends you into the middle of nowhere once a week for a douse, and also a world boss, there's really not a lot going on here. In fact, back in the day, because of this,
the world bosses like were completely forgotten, and they were dropping epics, but like completely forgotten by players. Like guilds, like, you know, like missed it.
And its resulting low traffic. It was one of the more popular bot farms because,
well, like back then, you have to think about the fact that like, you need to fucking move the 44 players to the fucking like no man's land, right?
They would have less of a chance of being found and reported by the players. However, adventurous players with a keen eye would uncover the remnants of the Azshara Crater Battleground, similar to the Warsong entrance on the border between Ashenville and the Barrens. You'll find abandoned Horde and Alliance encampments, which would serve as the hub that held the faction NPCs and vendors, and also the portal to zone into the actual battleground. Not much is known of this battleground other than an abandoned map file, and that it was going to be MOBA in style. At this point, there was a mod for Warcraft 3 named Dota that was becoming extremely popular. As it turns out, popular enough that they would make a standalone version of the game called Dota 2, and eventually escape the grasp of Blizzard through a lengthy legal battle. And though Blizzard tried their hand at this game mode officially in 2015 with the release of Heroes of the Storm, their earliest attempt, if you would call it that, was the Azshara Crater, which would be a third-person MMO take on the genre, possibly similar to Smite, for those who have played that game. That's not the only missing piece from the zone, though. back during the pre-release, the more adventurous players
Could be interesting still to this day, a MOBA battleground in WoW.
would, of all things, find the remnants of the Dark Portal buried in the waters off of the coast, which may seem strange at first, but back during the alpha of the game, they just used this Dark Portal as a placeholder for dungeon entrances. Funny enough though, back then, because this wasn't as widely known, this would turn Ashara into one of the many hotspots for exploration by players who thought that the Outland secretly existed. Maybe one of those people trying to figure out how to cleanse their Ashbringer.
People really had a different like mentality when it comes to like what's going on in the games. It created so much mysteries. They were believing anything and everything for within this game. People were passionate in a way that was obsessive and really different to this than today. But it was also because like there wasn't like this fucking like people were not like completely drowned into like content. They just had WoW and they played WoW and they were happy with WoW and they were like doing everything WoW, you know. And so that's why also like this mentality completely disappeared now, whereas back in the day it was like completely normal to have like this many mysteries within like Guild Wars, same, Final Fantasy, same, you know, but like especially WoW, because WoW was really like this in between was the modern MMORPG that actually like modeled a new way of gaming.
But regardless of all of that, at some point,
and we survived because like think about it, like the WoW that the people play, the retail, it comes from the same fucking classic WoW. Like Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy fucking remake. Like there is no like juggernaut that actually didn't like made it so from the first like game engine and first like complete game.
There were plans for a dungeon in the waters of Ashara, but for unknown reasons, again, probably time constraints, it was abandoned. So certainly something they have an opportunity to revive in the Season of Discovery and actually give more purpose to a pretty barren zone. Speaking of instances, our next destination lies in Stormwind. In the western part of the city, players can find the Stormwind Stockade, which is a prison overrun by rebellious Defias gang members. Although it's quite simple, it's one of the more iconic and memorable dungeons from vanilla. Most people have run it at some point, but did you know that to the east, there's another stockade? It's blocked off by a gate, but if you're able to slip past it, you'll find a portal, and this one actually works. This is the Stockade Raid, as it's known. Think the dungeon, but just much bigger and much easier to get lost in since everything looks the same, pretty much. This version holds 2 floors of the rooms and hallways that you can find in the Stockade dungeon. It is completely empty of mobs, of course, but interesting to see that it was finished enough to actually exist. Now, some would say that this doesn't really have a lot of potential for Classic Plus because it's unfair to the Horde, and my response to that is, first off, fuck the Horde, but 2, I would actually make the argument that this is exactly what the spirit of vanilla is. Vanilla is quite known for not being hyper obsessed with balance and fairness. I mean, just look at the 2 exclusive classes. Maybe a good middle ground would be that if it is a raid or a dungeon, give the Horde an equivalent somewhere in Orgrimmar, but still keep them completely unique. Unique bosses, unique layout, quests, loot. I think that would be way more spirit of vanilla than anything else that they could do. And it also encourages replayability since both factions offer more unique experiences. But we're not leaving Stormwind yet. I of course have to mention this gate right here between the Trade District and Old Town. Kind of in a dead-end area, you'll find an instance portal that's gated off, which just left players wondering what plans they had for it. But as it turns out, what you're looking at is one of the earlier attempts at player housing. Not the first, as evidenced by the screenshot from the alpha, which perfectly encapsulates exactly why housing wouldn't work in World of Warcraft. Every area has a purpose, whether it be a questing hub, a spawn location for enemies,
And player housing during World of Warcraft midnight, actually, after all these years. So he made this video 1 year ago, and vanilla was more than 10 years ago. Can you believe it? They were already thinking about housing, and after all these years, they finally did it. It took fucking midnight to fucking like get player housing.
Giving players the ability to drop houses would be disruptive, assuming that they behave, which they of course won't, because the first thing they'll do is plop it down on top of critical hubs. For player housing to work, the world has to be built for it. A good example here would be Star Wars Galaxies, where the planets were absolutely massive, but also mostly empty to support player buildings, and not just houses, and not even neighborhoods, but entire cities with shuttle ports and respawn points and strip clubs. But because the world wasn't built for it in WoW, the only way for it to work really is for it to be instanced, and the developers realized this as early as vanilla, as you can see, as this portal would zone you into a housing district in Stormwind, where presumably you could purchase or rent your own residence, possibly decorate it, possibly invite party or guild members over, maybe a good RP spot for guild meetings or something. But as was shown in the Warlords of Draenor, this system also has its issues, such as the world becoming empty and feeling more like a single-player game, which is very anti-vanilla in my opinion. So as far as Classic Plus is concerned, I think that it would be a bad call, and I think because of that it probably won't be a thing, but I wanted to mention it anyway since I feel like it's too big to leave out, a remnant of one of the very first attempts at player housing in the game. No one can really agree on what Classic Plus is, but what I commonly see is a level cap increase, and with a level cap increase probably means new quests, new zones, and preferably, in my opinion,
I actually don't believe in Vanilla Plus. Like, I think that like it will disrupt like retail too much. It will create like two games. Like, the thing is that like right now, especially like we get like Season of Discovery and everything, like basically like Season of Discovery, and it became kind of like you get your thrill from like retail, and then you get like Season of Discovery, because most players like are actually like fucking new players, right? So Vanilla Plus, like unless you go into into private servers, will never exist. It's too disruptive. It creates like too many problems, and yeah.
Within the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, since I think they're a pretty big part of Vanilla's identity. So in this case, real estate will be pretty important. So areas like Hyjal would be prime for this, but there are more. One of the big ones, second to Hyjal, can be found on the northern end of the Eastern Plaguelands. These two zones would eventually become Quolthalas, the Eversong Woods and Ghostlands in the Burning Crusade expansion. At the border here, you'll find some fallen trees blocking the path, with a high elf named Add-on, of course referring that this area is indeed planned for an add-on or expansion, the Burning Crusade. So unlike Hyjal, this area doesn't actually exist physically in the game. Well, at least it's not crafted and fleshed out to the extent of Hyjal.
Yeah, you need to take a portal to get there.
If you get past the fallen trees, you will find a small little elven hut. Apparently, Quolthalas wasn't as huge of an empire as we thought, but aside from that, it's just all unfinished flat plains. But looking at the map here, this is a ton of land for 2 or 3 entire zones that they could create in their own unique way. But next, we have the Emerald Dream. This is another really old myth from the game, and one that's been flirted with here and there in Legion and Dragonflight. But the earliest version exists in Vanilla World of Warcraft, though it never saw the light of day. It's referenced in-game in a few areas, a protagonist from the RTS.
Basically, there is a portal to the Emerald Dream, but like we never, with a boss dragon, like a raid boss, fucking like waits in front of it, but you never get to go for it.
Malfurion Stormrage is residing in it through all of Vanilla, and the players are able to have a dialogue with him via the Scepter of the Shifting Sands questline from Ankiraj. As far as its purpose is concerned, it could really be anything. It could be another zone, it could be a raid, or a dungeon. It really depends on what they envision Classic Plus to be, again, if it's even going to exist at all. Questlines hold the potential for unfinished content, certainly, and there are quite a few to be found in vanilla. One of the more mysterious ones, and loosely related to the Emerald Dream, is the Aranicus questline, where after killing the final boss of the Sunken Temple, players can loot the Essence of Aranicus trinket, which upon use produces a green AoE fart cloud, and also a Rage Whisper like how you get in PvP. This opens up a quest to an NPC named Atharius in the Swamp of Sorrows, who then sends you to another guy in Winter Spring, where it just abruptly ends, and taking your essence in the process, so you don't want to do this, especially considering how rare good trinkets are in vanilla. A community manager back in 2005 teased that the questline was being worked on, and it had promise, but unfortunately, for unknown reasons, it never saw the light of day. Across over the sea, on Kalimdor, we have a similar situation with Uldum. First, though, paying a visit to the Uldaman dungeon. At the end, players can complete the Platinum Discs quest, which gives a lot of lore of the Titans that approximately 1% of the player base actually read because it's really, really long. But even more unknown, and there's nothing to tell you this, but this opens up another quest scouting out a giant locked gate with elite giants patrolling nearby. This is Uldum, another area that was planned for Vanilla WoW. Talking to the Stonewatcher through the quest, he'll tell you that he won't grant you access without an item called the Plates of Uldum, which could possibly have been a key for attunement, much like the Drakefire Amulet for Onyxia. And
yeah, and it became like the Sands of Time, like the Dragons of Time zone, if I remember correctly.
According back to Ironforge, the Explorers League will tell you to come back soon, and that Uldum beckons. Well, as it turned out, soon meant 2010, during the Cataclysm, where it was finally finished and turned into a full...
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, no, it doesn't talk about, like, the zone in Tenaris. Like, there's...
zone with quests and dungeons and a raid. Next to Hyjal, and what would eventually become Eversong and Ghostlands, this is definitely a contender for endgame content updates. And in the same zone, not too far away...
Yeah, Caverns of Time, yeah.
We, of course, have the Caverns of Time, where the possibilities really are limitless.
You could enter through the door and actually see what's going on. It was empty as well back then, but like people were so passionate that I actually like under Ironforge, you can actually go there if you do a duel against a mage and he ships you. And actually go through an invisible door and you go under Ironforge. It's a zone that like was never used after that. Like, but it's interesting how like you can go in certain places and yeah, like it just exists. And back in vanilla, well, I fucking went there and I was like, what the fuck, damn, like I went to the secret place for like that's just kind of forgotten, you know.
Yes. Obviously, the instance portals are inactive in vanilla here, but this is when you really start to realize just how much content was originally intended for vanilla. This area, as players would find out in the Burning Crusade,
like people didn't had enough, you know, like when especially when we're playing, like now people are like min-maxing and like all these words exist, right? But back then it's like the Burning Crusade came out, I was like, I just finished like leveling to 60. I remember like being happy with like doing my small raids and stuff. I was at fucking Molten Core level and they were at fucking Nextramus, and for like the average player that fucking like discovered the game, it's like, friend, like you cannot believe how much we had, because it's like the pacing was completely different, you know, like, and because of that, like most player, like they were at Molten Core, Blackrock, Blackrock, like BWL, Blackwall, like no one fucking went to fucking Nextramus. People didn't even knew what the fuck was Nextramus. Blackwing Lair, right? And like I can tell you that like seeing this, they had even more planned, and like since the pacing of the game was completely different, like I can tell you that like people had so plenty back in the day. Like when the Burning Crusade got released, Like I went twice to Blackwing Lair, to give you an example. Like it took me months to fucking like get the fucking like I killed the Nixia, finished Molten Core a couple times, finished Zul'Gurub, and that's it, right? And it was enough. And I'm seeing all this, and it's like it was like different type of like different type of work. Like I gotta say, because like then like at the Burning Crusade, actually like I got the time to fucking like do more, but like it was paced differently and it was more accessible, but at the same time, god damn, back then it was like something like something that took so long to fucking like get there, you know, like, and it was so enough. And then you see all these plans like they add on top to add, and people are like, oh, it's a shame if you play back then, you had so much to do. It was the pacing was so slow but like so well done, and because of that it's like, yeah, like quite enough, you know, quite fucking enough. Quite fucking enough. But like it's amazing that like they were like, sad thing we didn't got the time to fucking like add the Mount Agel with fucking like with fucking like Caverns of Time and Uldum, and you're like what the fuck will players have done with fucking like even more content? They barely got the time to fucking like grind Molten Core, finish Zul'Gurub, and level up to the cap. That's pretty much where people were at for PvP, and some people got happy with what they got with PvP. That's pretty much where people were at, and it's like, add to this like 3 more high level zones, but like maybe they could have like keep on going with vanilla for like longer, but like at the same time it's like there was so much to do, so much content. And we talk about like for one player, one character. Imagine like you want to reroll like and stuff like that. You are like enough, you know.
It is a hub for crucial moments within the game's world that don't line up with the current timeline, whether that be the opening of the Dark Portal prior to the events of the game, or the culling of Stratholme, or the battle for Hyjal. It holds many memorable dungeons and raids. When time travel is involved, the options are limitless really, so anything can go here. Maybe there'll even be a portal to stop BFA and Shadowlands from happening, or from the developers ruining the 2019 line of Classic by releasing gameplay destroying level boosts, and later the WoW token. Told you so, by the way. Anyways, next we have Grimbatal. Back on over to the Eastern Kingdoms. In the Wetlands will be a gauntlet of elite Dragonkin, and at the end, a giant locked gate.
Let's be honest, like the fucking like level boost, okay, it got released. Like I agree that like it destroys the game, but like gaming has changed since then, right? Who the fuck is complaining about this now that it's got released, right? Fucking no one. Like I know I'm also against like these level boosts, and I'm also against like this type of like anti-gaming type of like mentality, but at the same time it's like it got released, they choose that it's not that bad. Right, it's not that bad, and yeah, it's not that bad, and it's not a catastrophe.
The War of the Three Hammers, which were between the Bronzebeards, the Dark Irons, and the Wild Hammer, had concluded, with the Bronzebeards as the victor. And while the Dark Irons got drunk and made their home in the Blackrock Mountain, the Wild Hammer ventured north past the gates of Dun Gaz and founded their own kingdom in the mountain of Grimbatal, which they were later forced out of after it had been cursed during an attack by the Dark Iron. One of Thorison's sorcerers, Modgood, had cursed the cities for shadows to attack all who entered, and though she met her demise, her curse remained. Eventually, the fortress was seized by the Dragonmaw clan and used as a prison for Alexstrasza before she got breast reduction surgery. As players would find out, this would be another area that would finally be finished during the Cataclysm expansion, where the Twilight's hammer eventually took up residence. But as far as vanilla was concerned, this was another really big piece of unfinished business that the players could only speculate on what was held inside. And last, but certainly not.
Can you believe that? Like, they saw the zone and they speculated about it, and 6 years later, they didn't, like, a couple of years later, the developers didn't forget the zone, and actually they fucking did something about it, and there were answers to the speculations. Like, this is what I like about Blizzard, you know?
At least we have Gilneas, another Cataclysm entry here, but on the southern end of the Silverpine Forest, we have Gilneas, the home of the furries. The forces of Erigel have a strong presence within the forest. They're humans turned werewolf by way of a curse, and not just within the lore, but actual gameplay elements with the inhabitants of Shadowprey Village roaming the town in their human form by day and transforming into elite worgen at night. One of the few areas in the game that actually changes depending on the time of day, in fact. If you manage to sneak past the gate, you'll find an empty chasm awaiting you. It's not quite as extravagant as the Cataclysm version, I'd say, but another one of the big mystery areas in vanilla that could definitely have some potential here. But that's about it, for the most major stuff at least. A lot of this stuff has obviously been finished, primarily in BC or Cataclysm, so if they were to return to it in Season of Discovery, I think they would have to be careful to change them up quite a bit, especially with Cataclysm Classic.
It's really hopeful. I'm really, I guess, like Season of Discovery going into its own timeline. Like, leave the Season of Discovery just like balance changes, making like the game fun and stuff like that. Because like, I don't see anything else, you know.
Release, I think that it would be wise to maintain separation. No one can agree on what Classic Plus is, but from what I've seen, a lot of it is that it should be an alternate timeline that splits away from BC and goes down its own route. So seeing this was finished with, quote, the spirit of vanilla touch that people talk
absolutely not. Please don't do that.
About could definitely have a lot of potential. Really, how closer can you get than to...
But I agree to disagree that like some players like actually like that didn't follow retail like are completely like outside of like my love for like WoW and what it became.
Finished content that was originally made by the original developers back in 1999 to 04. So considering that, if they do go down the Classic Plus route, it wouldn't at all surprise me that at least a few of the things in this video would see some attention in later phases. Even if not though, I hope that this video was at least interesting and give you a peek at just how much bigger this game could have been. But aside from that, like the video if you liked it, because I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Alright. Subscribe to Matt Season Show if you didn't. Like, this dude is quite a fucking legend. So yeah, I actually didn't knew most of that. So yeah, good video. Thank you so much, Matt Season. Okay, let's check out let's check out this. So Bring Me the Horizon. I fucking love this band. You fucking love this band. I fucking love this band. If you don't like this band, well, what can I tell you? Like, I remember listening to this band and being like, no way, and now I'm like, like I know how to scream just because of bands like fucking screamo. Like, so yeah, fucking good band. Let's check the strange history of Bring Me the Horizon.
And then slowly but surely over time, kind of around the Sempiternal era, they finally earned the approval of the gatekeepers, and now with Amo, it was all gone. Everybody hated him again. What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock NBA, and today we are here to talk about Bring Me the Horizon, who, in my opinion, are the single most important band in this entire generation of alternative music. I consider them to be the most innovative, influential, and forward-thinking band of the past 10 or 15 years, and sometimes I feel like they're almost single-handedly dragging the rock and metal scenes kicking and screaming into the future. I've talked about this in a lot of other videos, but in a lot of ways I feel like the rock scene has grown very stale and almost like hostile to new ideas, and Bring Me the Horizon is one of the few bands in rock who are actually commercially successful and still willing to take wild, crazy chances with their music. Like, if they put out a black metal EP next year followed by a rap song, would anybody really be surprised by that? And what's really crazy is that
yeah, is they do everything alternative, but like they took so much like artistic liberty, and especially when you see the who they are featuring. They are featuring Baby Metal, Evanescence. They're featuring like Young Blood, like so many good artists, and they give their they share their success with a lot of like artists that actually like are so deserving. And this is what I like about like their band, about Bring Me the Horizon, is that like they didn't fucking like became successful and became like this kind of like untouchable type of entity, like don't fucking see themselves like as higher as they can. They never fucking lost touch, you know. And this is what I fucking like. You see them like do so many things and release so much fucking music. And I think that like the fact that they do so many featuring that are so successful, like this is what bring me joy when it comes to like bands like this, because like they never lost touch. They continued to fucking like do stuff, and they offered the chance to fucking like other artists to fucking like I don't know, try something, you know.
You know that they would pull it off too, because this band just does not miss. So how do they do it? How do they go from being just another one of the many unremarkable...
The reason I'll give you this, I'll give you the fucking thing about like never missing. To fucking be successful at to be really successful, like, okay, I'll give you the success story that will be confirmed by any successful artist. To be successful, you have to be unsuccessful so many so many times that it just that failure do not affect you anymore. Most artists will tell you that like they failed more than they actually succeeded during their lives, like, and this is kind of like the secret that like no one, it's not that like no one shares it, is it like more that like people that actually propose like services, like to when it comes to coaching, when it comes to teaching, it's like everything is like, of course you will do progress and stuff. It's like no, if you want to be successful, to be sure to be successful, you have to be ready to be unsuccessful so many times that you won't be even the same person you were when you started this, when you started your artistic journey. And this is the reality of it. Like, if you want to be successful, you have to be unsuccessful so many times that failure is something that you do not feel anymore. That failure is part of your life, and but also success is part of your life when you actually succeed. I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me, this is actually what this is actually my perspective on being successful as an artist.
remarkable MySpace metalcore deathcore bands with a little bit of hype based on a cute frontman to being what they are now, a band that is not only selling out arenas and hitting the Billboard top 10 in multiple countries, but also taking these crazy chances with their music, playing everything from rock to pop to metal to like ambient noise. Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea, and that is exactly what I will explain in this video. But first, thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Well, some of you might be saying, wait a minute, didn't you already make a video about these guys? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, I did. It was actually one of the first videos I did that got any kind of traction. But that was 3 years ago, and a lot has changed for the band since then. It's actually kind of crazy. They've evolved so much since then that I feel like a video from 2018 doesn't even tell half of their history. And so in this video, I do want to focus on the last few years of their history. But in order to understand where they are now, first, we have to go back to the beginning. Bring Me the Horizon started out back in 2004 in the town of Sheffield, England, and within less than a year they had already put out their first EP called This Is What the Edge of Your Seat Was Made For. And listening to it now, I don't know that anybody, including the band, would say that it's necessarily good. Like, I wouldn't choose to listen to it now, but I will say that given the fact that they were like 17 years old when they did it, they had been a band for less than a year, and by their own admission had really no idea what they were doing. Like, I met them a couple years ago and asked them about it, and Lee was telling me that the reason why the guitar tone on this album was so weird is because his amp was broken and he was like so new to being in the studio that he didn't even realize it. So is this EP great? No, it's not, but I will say that it's pretty damn good for what it is. You can definitely see the potential here. They followed that up with their debut full-length album, Count Your Blessings, in 2006, which again was pretty rough around the edges. But even so, you could tell that this was like a good fucking band. Like, whether you like deathcore or not, objectively speaking, Pray for Plagues is just a really catchy song for the genre. And there's a reason why people still want them to play it live. Count your fucking The production is obviously terrible, but the song itself holds up. And even then, just a couple years into their career, they were already getting a surprising amount of hype. Their EP got reissued and went to number 41 on the UK charts. They won Kerrang's Best Newcomer Award in 2006. And they were getting a ton of hype on this brand new website that everyone was talking about called myspace.com. And at this point, they were kind of lumped in with all of the then new deathcore bands that were coming up all over the place, like Suicide Silence, Chelsea Grin, Job for a Cowboy, Whitechapel. And if you were around back then, you'll remember how everybody thought of those bands. They were either just totally ignored and written off as shitty MySpace music, or if the gatekeepers and media critic types ever acknowledged it, they did everything they could to just absolutely shit on it. They said that this was just trendy bullshit for poser kids, that it would never stand the test of time, that none of these bands would be around in 2 years, and certainly nobody would care about them. Obviously, in hindsight, the critics are wrong, because every single one of those bands is still around, and many of them ended up being quite successful and influential. But the point is that this was the start of a pattern for Bring Me the Horizon. Always a few years of what the scene was ready for, and by the time everyone catches up, they're on to the next thing. Which brings us to the next era of the band, starting with their
the fucking like haters and whatever the fuck, it brings like light, and it brings actually like people to actually like listen to the song. So as much as like people like to hate on haters, right? Haters like this like poser, like just like this critiques actually bring people to your shows by because you fucking triggered, like triggered the fucking right person, you know? And if you're still in business later, this person will actually make noise for you, and it's kind of like it's a test of time. And it's actually true, you know? Like, it's actually true. And but usually people like to hate on the fucking like haters and like the let me just like they like to fucking like hate on haters, right? But actually like good publicity, bad publicity, like it's still publicity and brings people. So it's like these people like got trashed by some random people that were like, you're not fucking metal enough, and it's like Actually, it's a good thing because they were actually metal enough, you know?
2008 album Suicide Season, which was actually already a shift in sound for them. Don't get me wrong, it was still super heavy and all the deathcore kids loved it, but they had already evolved. I would say that this album was kind of like a heavier Slipknot almost, like right on the border of metalcore and deathcore. And you could already tell that they had calmed down a little bit and started to focus more on writing actual songs rather than just being like balls out crazy all the time like on Count Your Blessings. They followed that album up in 2010 with There Is a Hell, which took that style even further, adding stuff like strings and these kind of ambient textures and stuff, and going in more of like a post-hardcore kind of direction. And for a band that was kind of written off as the epitome of like trendy MySpace shit, they were already starting to prove those people wrong. There Is a Hell actually hit the top 20 charts in both the US and the UK, which I'd say is pretty fucking impressive. Especially for a British band to get that kind of a following in America is really hard. You can see how few bands have pulled it off since. So all of that was pretty impressive, but it was just a preview for what I would consider their real breakthrough album, which was 2013's Sempiternal, which represented their full transformation from like just this filthy, nasty, wild deathcore band, just trying to be as crazy and heavy and brutal as possible, to something more like a polished, sophisticated rock outfit that was much more than just a scene band. And there's a couple things here kind of behind the scenes that I think
that like Sempiternal like really brought something that like a poetry from like this deathcore that like I absolutely fell in love with. Like before Sempiternal, like there are like some songs, but like after Sempiternal, like I recognize Bring Me the Horizon, and it actually never changed. It actually never changed from that, and I am glad it never fucking did, because like this is the band that I love. Like this is the fucking band that I love, you know?
Responsible for that. Number one, I think a big part of that was the addition of Jordan Fish to the band. That's the guy that you've seen doing synths and percussion live, but he's much more than that. I would say that he's kind of more like the band's own in-house producer in a lot of ways. He seems to have the most pop sensibilities in the band, whereas Lee comes from like more of a metal background. And I think the addition of Jordan's arrangement ideas is really what made Bring Me the Horizon break away from the pack creatively. They were doing stuff on Sempiternal that really nobody else in the genre had even thought of. And I remember when this album came out, the scene's kind of collective reaction was like, whoa. Like, everyone knew that Bring Me the Horizon was good, but this album was great. It was just on another level. Even people like my friends who are old hardcore dudes that hate everything kind of just couldn't help but be impressed and admit how good this album was, because it was just undeniable. Everything came together so well. Ollie had learned how to really be a singer, not just a screamer. Lee's riffs were as heavy and nasty as ever. And then Jordan's production and arrangements just kind of made it all come together in a way that leveled everything up.
If you can't go with the Eagles, then don't fly with the Bullfrogs.
And I think another big part of this was Ollie going to rehab and getting clean. And they were always kind of known as a party band when they were younger, which is one of those things where it's cool and it works for you until suddenly it's not anymore. And you realize that either you got to make a change or this is going to potentially kill the band. And it does destroy a lot of bands. So huge respect to Ollie and the rest of the band for getting through this together and not only surviving it, but using that as fuel to make what was easily the best album of their career.
I want to say something that I never thought I'd actually talk about. Before we wrote Sempiternal, I was a fucking drug addict. My band wanted to kill me, my parents wanted to kill me, my fucking brother wanted to kill me, everyone wanted to fucking kill me, they wanted to fucking take me to hell, but they didn't. They stood by me, they supported me through all that shit, and we wrote Sempiternal because of it.
And people in the scene weren't the only ones who noticed how great Sempiternal was. It went to number 3 in the UK, number 11 in the US, and to me, with this album and the critical and commercial success of it, they'd kind of unofficially graduated from the world of Warped Tour bands and into that kind of next stratosphere of mainstreamish alternative rock bands. I don't know exactly what that means, but it just felt like they had ascended to the next level that most bands from their scene were never able to. Maybe like All Time Low, and I can't really think of anybody else. And in 2015, they followed up Sempiternal with That's the Spirit, which I didn't personally like because it's a little bit too rock for me, but objectively, it was a really strong album. It kind of picked up where Sempiternal left.
Sempiternal was also like, no, the other album Like past Sempiternal, I absolutely love everything they did. Everything they did. Like there are like a couple songs, but like, god damn, they're really like, wow. Wow.
Off, but took things in an even more pop direction. And listening to something like Happy Song, which is so polished and slick and radio friendly, it's hard to believe that this is the same band that did Pray for Plagues. They had completely reinvented themselves.
If I sing along, a little fucking louder to her.
Now, with that being said, they got plenty of negative feedback. There was definitely a segment of fans that didn't like it. You heard plenty of the usual stuff from formerly heavy bands that end up going in a more accessible direction, you know. They went soft, they sold out, why don't they sound like Suicide Season anymore? But still, in spite of all that, this album went to #2 in both the UK and America, and it was official. They were now a legit mainstream rock band. Worlds apart from really just a few years earlier, when they were still kind of trying to get their foot in the door in America, and they were playing at like 3 p.m. on Warped Tour. And if this was the peak of their career creatively or commercially, I still would have been impressed because they'd come so far in like 10 years. But this was not the peak, not even close. And this is actually where my previous video about them left off, which sucks because this is actually right where things start to get really interesting. To me, the real turning point in Bring Me the Horizon's career was their 2019 album Amo, which was easily the biggest stylistic shift of their career. Like, if you haven't heard it, it's basically like a straight up pop album that happens to have some distorted guitars kind of in the background, but they almost kind of feel more like synths or something.
You need a taste of your own
Medicine.
To say that it was a big departure would be a huge understatement. And I would actually say that it's my personal favorite Bring Me the Horizon album because I like pop a lot, but it was not well received by their core fan base, to say the least. They said the band was selling out, that it was Ed Sheeran pop trash with Beatles haircuts and blah, blah, blah. You can go read the reviews of it from back then and see plenty of examples of what I'm talking about. And so in some ways, it felt like this album was kind of right back to where they started. Back in the MySpace days, like I said, the media critics and the metal gatekeepers and whoever else hated them because they were trendy bullshit for posers or whatever. And then slowly but surely over time, kind of around the Sempiternal era, they finally earned the approval of the gatekeepers, and now with Amo, it was all gone. Everybody hated him again. But here's the thing, and this is what to me impresses me about Bring Me the Horizon more than anything, because there's plenty of bands who take chances and alienate their audience and kind of sabotage their careers. But with Bring Me the Horizon, they managed to pull off the combination of these crazy, huge stylistic shifts, and yet somehow get bigger and bigger and bigger every time.
Because like their stylistic changes, there is a reason in it, and it's not like to sell out. It's not that to please another audience. It's because like they are trying something new, and they are like searching for themselves and trying to at the end of the day, they try to fucking like do art. And this is something that like Bring Me the Horizon really has in it. Like and this is why like to this day, like they release something and it's like, yeah, it will be new and it will be something absolutely like different, but it won't be something that like will actually like make me think that like, oh man, fuck, it's over. Like, it's over. We'll never fucking like Bring Me the Horizon is dead, you know? No, it's like they try to fucking and usually what they do with it is a new type of artistic direction, type of style, change of colors, like tones, like stuff like that, you know? And this is the reason, like, I think that like they really managed to succeed at doing that, because they don't alienate, they just like show that like they keep like searching for something and they find something, and sometimes it like Amo wasn't like as successful as the other albums, but it doesn't matter, because like the album after that, well, fuck it, it was, you know. And this is what I like about Bring Me the Horizon. It's like they never took apart why they were doing music and just to create art.
Because as much as people complained about it, Amo went to #1 in the UK and #14 in the US. So basically for every butthurt metal fan that they lost, they got several more new fans. And so in the end, it was a win. And what I really, really respect is that they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew that this was not going to be well received with your kind of typical rock and metal fan who freaks out whenever they hear something that's not double bass and screaming. But they did it anyway. They knew that this was going to alienate a lot of people, but they said, fuck it, let the chips fall where they may. And you might say that I'm giving them too much credit, but check it out. They actually have a song called Heavy Metal that predicted this exact reaction.
I'm afraid you don't love me anymore, 'cause a kid on the gram in a black Dahlia tank says it ain't heavy metal.
I also like how back then they started adding a medley of some of their old deathcore songs to their live set, just as a little fuck you to all the people who said that they couldn't pull those songs off anymore. I would actually say that they play those songs better now than they did back then. But anyhow, the reason that I say this is the most important album of their career is because this is when they showed that they were truly a post-genre band. That Bring Me the Horizon wasn't deathcore or metalcore or rock or pop or anything else. That they were a band who was going to do whatever the fuck they wanted in whatever genre they felt like doing at any particular moment in time. They showed that with Amo and underscored it even further with the album that they put out later in 2019 called Music to Listen To, which is a really interesting piece of work. It's basically a collection of like lo-fi electronic pop songs, including a collaboration with Halsey, which I think really planted a flag in their willingness to go full on pop.
Breathe cold, another bad dream. I'm mud on my face that I can't get clean.
And whether you like the music or not, maybe you're an old school fan that likes the heavy stuff, either way, I think you have to respect that. They worked for years and years and years to get to this point, to finally get to the top of the mountain as a rock and metal band. And the natural reaction for anybody who quote unquote makes it is to just kind of freeze in place, to say, okay, this is what people want from us. We're having
No, they keep on going. They're still releasing songs now. It's like there is like so many releases. I actually didn't got the fucking time to fucking see everything.
some success, and we don't want to lose that. So
To discover everything, I mean.
we're just gonna keep doing more of the same because we don't want to alienate the fans and upset the apple cart. And I totally get that, because honestly, that's how I feel. You know, as a creator, I worked so hard to build this channel to where it is that I'm afraid of losing it. And honestly, there's a lot of videos that I would love to make, but I don't, because I don't think my audience will like them. And so really the truth is that I am no different than a lot of these rock bands that I criticize for being afraid to take chances. And that is exactly why I respect the fuck out of Bring Me the Horizon, because they are willing to take those chances, even knowing that it's going to alienate a huge chunk of their audience. But they believe in themselves and their work, and they're not afraid to just say fuck it. So that brings us to 2020, 16 years into Bring Me the Horizon's career. And if you thought that they were done doing crazy, unexpected shit, you would be wrong. Just when we thought that we knew what to expect from them, like, okay, they're not metal anymore, now they're a pop band, we get it. They came out with their album Post-Human Survival in 2020, which was a totally unexpected return to like old school metalcore.
Actually, big fan. Let me, I don't know if it's here. So much a fan. I'll show you that I'm Bringing Me the Horizon fan. Here fucking go. Here you fucking go. Like, check this out. Here's my fucking like Bring Me the Horizon fucking like testament that like this band is fucking awesome. Alright.
And it was really fucking good. To me, it just sounded like old school Count Your Blessings era Bring Me the Horizon, but with their current level of musicianship and modern production. And for everybody who said that they couldn't do heavy anymore, well, they pretty much shut up all those critics because they sounded better than ever.
It reminded me so much, that song, of like something that would have been on Count Your Blessings but done a bit better and stuff.
And since then, I feel like that is when their fan base pretty much let go of any expectations. Now it just feels like they're gonna do whatever they want with every new song, every new EP. You really never know what you're gonna get from Bring Me the Horizon. You just know it's gonna
And it's a good thing.
good. This band just keeps getting better and better, which is so rare. Like their latest single, Die For You, feels super fresh and new to me. It's like this perfect fusion of everything that they've done before in their career, from metalcore to pop, and what's trending now.
Let me just check one thing real quick. Okay.
Rock and alternative music all just kind of jammed together into one song that just feels right. I think the stuff they're putting out now is the best of their career. Like here they are almost 20 years into their career, and it feels like they're just now coming into their prime creatively, especially compared to a lot of their peers from back then who ran out of steam 10 years ago, if not more. I've criticized the rock scene a lot for being stuck in the past, and honestly, for good reason. Go look at any festival and you'll see that it's the same bands from like 15 or 20 years ago headlining. Or sometimes even worse, like you see the Scorpions headlining a festival, a band that was in their prime in the 70s. Sometimes I feel like the rock scene just kind of stopped paying attention to the world in 2002. It's just been frozen in time since then, ignoring anything else that's happened at best, or at worst, like actively hating on new developments, new genres, and new artists. And so I love that Bring Me the Horizon are the exact opposite of that. Not only are they taking chances with their music, but they also clearly still have their ear to the street. Taking bands like Lorna Shore out on tour, collaborating with a lot of younger artists recently like Poor Stacy, Dane, Youngblood, and my friend Jarrus Johnson, who is amazing. Check him out if you haven't. And like this week, they're playing a show at the Whiskey in LA, which is like a tiny little venue, with Jarrus Johnson and See You Space Cowboy, which is a band that's bringing back that mid-2000s metalcore kind of sound that you heard on the first Bring Me the Horizon EP. So they're really like combining the past and the present in a way that I think is super cool. And listen, they don't have to do any of that. They've made it to the top, right? The easy thing to do, arguably the smart thing to do, would be to pull the ladder up behind them. To just say fuck you to the next generation of artists. Like it's not.
And this is what I like, is that they share their legacy with the new coming out that is like Youngbloods, like Baby Metal. They were criticized for like doing a song with Baby Metal. Oh my fucking god, this song is so fucking dope. And I think that like this is like a band that like really fucking like they are doing the right thing for like the new coming artists.
Our job to put you on, nobody put us on. Good luck. Like how does it benefit them to collaborate with tiny artists like Dane? They do that stuff because at their core, they are artists. They're innovators that want to support the next generation of artists and people doing what they did, taking risks and moving alternative music forward, whether the world is ready for it or not. So what's next for Bring Me the Horizon? Honestly, who the fuck knows? Like I said earlier, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they did like anything from rap to black metal to chiptunes, maybe even in the same song. So I have no idea what they're gonna do, but whatever it is, I'm stoked for it, and I hope it pisses people off and pushes the boundaries of the genre, just like they've been doing since 2004. And thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I've used Squarespace for almost a decade now for my personal website, and I genuinely think their product is fantastic. You can connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content, manage your members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights all in one easy-to-use platform. And use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your posts as well. And they also do e-commerce. Just go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/thepunkrockmba to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All right, my friends, that does it for this video. As always, let me know what you think in the
Thank you so much for the video, Punk Rock MBA. Please subscribe to this guy if you're into like rock metal history. It does it well, it does it good, it does it fucking great. And if you never fucking listen to Bring Me the Horizon, Like, fucking give it a try. Come on, man. Like, bring me the Horizon. Come on. It's such a beautiful band. Alright. Alright, next down. Alright, let's check out some video game down here.
Get your mojo back out now. From the big mo store, dog. Get your mojo before Santa. You must race Santa. Tree Santa. Oh, the Biggie Pin and the Star Providence Pen are beautiful stocking stuffers. You must race me across the world to get these motos before I do. But watch out, because I'm a sneaky Santa. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is an incredible feat by all teams involved. Every aspect of the game was crafted with precision and passion. Like a squirrel or a chipmunk. With Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Fortnite will never be the same, because now Fortnite is like Black Ops 7.
We have the enemy exactly where we want them.
We got them back at the login screen on Black Ops 6. Call of Duty 7 innovates by innovating largely. The game is deep. The storyline is emotional. Black Ops 2 is largely regarded as the pinnacle of Call of Duty. It is? Black Ops 7 is the first Call of Duty to feature guns as a mechanic.
What the fuck?
Expanding Omni movement? Whoa! That was a dead body. It's a skill-based game. It's a skill-based game. The game is good, like Black Ops 2. Gotcha. Couldn't even see you. Black Ops 2 was memorable. Black Ops 2 should win Game of the Year this year. Ooh, Black Ops 7 minus Black Ops 2 equals Black Ops 9, which I never played. The perk system has never mattered. Let me reload, it takes like an hour. Here, take this for a second. Black Ops 2 was notable for its realism. Hey.
We'll have 30 new weapons available at launch.
I'm only gonna use one. Yeah! Oh, you can do that? Okay, now I see what to do. You go, shoot, bah!
You're falling behind, Black Ops.
Don't call me Black Ops. My name is Battlefield 6. There's nobody there. We claimed the lead. Oh my god, this is my moment. Look at this, 4 dudes just standing on top of each other. This is my time to shine. This is my moment. Look at this. I didn't get a single kill. Black Ops 7 makes Black Ops 2 look like Black Ops 4.
Bro.
Peekaboo. The game is extremely fair. Introducing Omni movement. What? Introducing mono movement. Only move in one direction.
Skewer incoming.
What's a skewer? Oh.
This lady just fucking exploded.
Now entering the ring, standing 6'3", weighing over 270 pounds, The Undertaker. Black Ops 7 marks a clear downturn for the franchise, oftentimes feeling desperately out of touch. The gameplay is highly explosive. What I mean by that is that there are hundreds of explosions every second of gameplay.
This fucking reminds me that like past Modern Warfare 2, I never fucking bought a fucking Call of Duty game ever. Like this, I cannot believe that like Modern Warfare 2 was like something of a kind when it comes to like multiplayer. Like this had this fun, but like it wasn't like this fucking DJ and fucking like completely like what the fuck is going on. And I can see that like the parts of like the game that I used to love are still there. It's just like it's fucking degen now. Like I don't know, like makes me like happy to not have wasted time, to not have wasted more time on fucking like on fucking the Call of Duty fucking franchise, because oh my fucking god, it didn't change. And Past Modern Warfare 2, I told myself, nah, Black Ops, no, not my thing. Yeah, oh my fucking god, completely not. Maybe it's yours, but like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck?
Bye. Double kill? Not today. Good catch. Hey, let me get this. Wait, let me get another. Wait, give me another chance. Black Ops 7 is the 7th installment. So many explosions. The vehicles of Black Ops 7 are more realistic than the realism of real life.
Mario fucking cards. Get fucked by cards.
Frag out. Throwing secondary frag. Flashbang out. Now firing first missile. 1 of 7 missiles fired. Now equipping grenade launcher. Equipping second of 18 grenade launchers. 10th grenade out. 11th grenade out. Secondary grenade online. Oh, come on. Grenade launcher, really? Another skill-based kill. By this guy? Thank you. Choo-choo, get on board, gamers, for the exciting conclusion to Black Ops 7. New technology. Brain blast. What if I just stand next to the thing and they'll think that they won't know the difference? They call me the trickster. And you just got tricked. Trickster's trick.
That shit ends now.
Alright, no more tricks. Trickster's trick. Trickster's trick. Trickster's trick. Trickster's trick. Trickster's trick. You just fell for my trickster's trick. With Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Call of Duty has gone back to Black Ops 7 for the first time.
You want to explain this to the board? Turn this around.
Black Ops 7 shouldn't work, and it doesn't work. This is where the people who make the game work. With Black Ops 7, we wanted the maps to be like this now. So you can see where everybody's camping. See? Some people call me the Steven Spielberg of Black Ops 7.
Using Echo.
Others refer to me as the trickster.
Stay tight, we're in the lead.
Let's set up another one of my trickster's traps, because I'm such a funny guy.
Enemy with Simtex.
Not funny. Black Ops 7 is an experience unlike any other. The game is almost identical to Black Ops 6, which is a good thing.
And Black Ops 5 and Black Ops 3 and Black Ops... What the fuck? Like, I haven't fucking watched, like, footage of, like, Call of Duty since I played Modern Warfare 2, alright? So, Modern Warfare 2, the original. I can't believe that, like, the game is the same. It's like... Yeah... I mean, yeah, why not? Like the fucking like, it's the same fucking game. It's the same fucking game. It's just the same. Like they release it every year because like you lose everything. Like I remember, like I'm guessing that like the prestige, like in Modern Warfare 2, I remember like if you do the prestige and get all the camos for like the weapons, you get the golden guns, right? It was a Kalashnikov, like, and some other ones, right? And it's like, why the fuck do you even grind in this game if it is for it to fucking like be done and gone, and you're like on a timeline on a clock to fucking like be like, yeah, and do you know what the fuck I'm gonna do in 12 months? Fucking like throw this away, throw everything away, and be like, yeah, let's go and do the same fucking grind in a new fucking game and pretend that like I didn't waste my time. Like this is the fucking thing that like I cannot fucking not. I only despise about like Black Ops. You know what Battlefield did? They released Battlefield, and then they fucking like released like content for it, And then I fucking like waited enough for like not fucking like for players to fucking enjoy Battlefield, and then they released Battlefield, and then fucking like they release like a game, a full game that people will enjoy, and people will not fucking like not play in a fucking in fucking 2 weeks, you know? You know why? Because a new fucking Battlefield got announced, you know?
Black Ops 6 represented a new pinnacle for the COD franchise because I couldn't get it to run.
Frag, get down!
No. What's drill grenade? Oh, look at that. No, that's all wrong. The foliage should not be moving that fast underwater. No, this game is unplayable. Echo. Wait, it landed up there? Wait, I'm slick for that. It's like I've died and gone to heaven, and the only game you can play there is Black Ops 7, and I realize I'm not in heaven after all.
TACCOM, get a care package. Lost B.
Go into guns.
What were you using before? Full auto shotgun. Is that a typo? Black Ops 7 innovates. Innovative. This is what we call a Black Ops. The game is extremely fun. The guns are extremely balanced. Players have never been happier to be killed like this. It's like NASCAR. Yo. Show me the money. The gun is balanced by a high recoil and short range. From across the entire world, Tricks is slick.
Oh my fucking
Black
god.
Ops 7 represents a new paradigm. Black Ops 7 is what 7 diamonds to play. The Omni movement system moved me to tears. The Omni movement system has failed you. I got this out of a care package. I just killed that man all the way from Black Ops 3. The gun is balanced by a high recoil and short range. With Black Ops 7, you can shoot 7 men. Black Ops 7 is a return to form, not a return to GameStop.
Oh my fucking nice gun game, boy.
The streak system has been revamped. The mocap actors were forced to create the weapons for the game to cut costs. Out of ammo. Hold reliable. This gun isn't funny enough.
Ready for delivery. Launch door on my mark. Stay tight. We're in the lead.
Mocap actors did a bad job. That was exactly my plan.
Another day, another masterpiece.
Thanks so much, Video Game Donkey, to remind me why the fuck I will never fucking play a Call of Duty game ever again. Thank you so much. Let me just like this.
Before they were the same.
Like this. All right. Okay. There's another fucking trailer. And then okay. I got the fucking like trailer that got like on my fucking like let's check this out. It's about Bleach. I thought it was an anime. I thought it was for the anime. Actually, it's not for the anime. It's all right. Let's check out a fucking like mobile trailer. I will never play it. You'll never play it. No one will never play it. Some people will play it actually, but like yeah. Okay, Gacha Bleach, anyone? Okay, okay. The graphics are actually like slick, like this is beautiful, like the combat, I don't know how it functions, because like it is done on it isn't fucking mobile. So how the fuck do you move? How the fuck do you like play? Do you even play? That's my question. Like, and then the AG pool guaranteed. Oh my fucking god, it's a good game. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Okay.
The following trailer is rated H for honest.
From the series that takes the world's most horrifying pastime and turns it into a fun game for poorly supervised 12-year-olds comes the return to World War II that everyone was waiting for. Only this time, there's loot boxes. Ah yes, just like my grandpa remembers it. Call of Duty World War II. Snap to attention for the most conventional Call of Duty in years, as the series returns from the mechs and lasers of its futuristic games to Call of Duty's bread and butter, hyper-patriotic action movies about actual historical conflicts, where accuracy and realism are set aside for a power fantasy where you single-handedly mow down half a battalion. In the closest thing we're ever gonna get to World War II Dynasty Warriors. Answer the call of duty as you're recruited to the front lines once again to play through yet another exclusively American take on World War II and suit up as Private Ronald Daniels, a simple country boy just trying to make it back to his best girl by taking up arms along his trusty squad of cliches like the good corporal, the battle-hardened asshole, the nerd, and the Jewish guy as you push your way from the beaches of Normandy to the banks of Rhine in a series of brutal battles that could claim any character at any time, as long as they don't have celebrity guest plot armor, in a single-player experience that feels like they dusted off the Band of Brothers DVDs and wrote the first World War II story that came into their heads. Huh, it's almost like the campaign isn't why people buy Call of Duty games. Grab that rifle once again as COD returns to a more traditional campaign experience, where you'll run through the battlefield frantically picking up health packs and random guns, fire bullet after bullet into waves of NPCs that barely use cover, and perform heroic actions like saving your friends, and not reflexively murdering surrendering enemies until you run into a cutscene or a gimmick sequence, like a tank battle, a dogfight, being a French woman, or fun times at an in-game concentration camp. In a gameplay experience that successfully turns the horrors of war into a casual shooter for everyone to enjoy. Because no one honors the fallen quite like Call of Duty. Press F to pay respects. Paratroop into the heart of Call of Duty's signature multiplayer mode and witness new Call of Duty made old again as they strip out all the double jumps, wall runs, and super slides, dredge up the depths of the World War II.
I fucking started to despise like video games when shooter games when they added like the fucking double jump and the fucking like wall running and the fucking like crouch on like the side and stuff. It's like it's so unbelievable. Like I got used to fucking playing in a certain way. All right, in a certain way. It's so fucking like why where do fuck that.
Catalog to find enough machine guns and dish up the same old constantly getting shot in the back multiplayer you know and used to be tired of, in the hopes that absence makes the heart grow fonder. Because aside from the new classes, modes, and perks, the social hub, which is basically a glorified loot box showroom and an excuse to play old Activision games, it's basically Call of Duty 4 with a shiny new World War II skin on it. And honestly, you could do worse. Exhume the corpse of the mode they've beaten to undeath, Nazi zombies, with another star-studded cast of zombie killers, and a bunch of new systems to layer on top of an already convoluted mode ensuring that you'll only play with friends. Or spend time in spectator mode, studying the map like it's homework or something. I mean, really, if this mode doesn't even have the hop anymore, what's the point? So lace up those army boots and get ready to charge back into the good fight for another Call of Duty that delivers more or less exactly what you expected from it. Cause let's be honest, you either stopped caring about the series years ago, or you've already bought it and unlocked your sick weed leaf emblem. Starring Johnny American Boy, the Bear Jew, Commander Bullet Magnet, America's hardest ass, Private probably shouldn't have been drafted, the other guy who was also there, Colonel Exposition, Freedom Fighters, James Pond, and Wolfenstein, saving profit margin. You know, loot boxes are terrible and all, but seeing the garbage drops other people get is actually pretty entertaining. Haha, I hope you paid money for that. Comment below on what you want me to read in my epic voice.
This is actually true. This is actually true. Alright. Alright.
The following trailer.
Honest trailer, Oppenheimer. If you don't know who Oppenheimer is the person who fucking created nuclear bombs. You can say thank you or fuck you to this person, because since then the world is not the same, because for some reason, like, we've got big bombs now, and it's like, can you believe that, like, some people used to fucking like live in a war, being like, oh yeah, by the way, we might nuke the place because fuck you. Can you believe that? Like, this was the Cold War. Like, can you believe that? Like, oh fucking, like, yeah, Oppenheimer is the person that created, like, the fucking nuclear bomb, and since then things have not been the same, because don't worry, like, with the time passing, like, Oppenheimer, like, we will have built something else, but like, just as and like past that, like, anyway, let's just fix that.
Trailer is rated S for spoilers for stuff that happened 80 years ago. From a pale genius who's cold, principled, and unfairly maligned, comes a Nolan film about that same kind of guy. For like the, what, 5th time now? He's got a type. Oppenheimer. Meet J. Robert Oppenheimer, a man smart enough to understand Tenet on the first watch.
Robert, you see beyond the world we live in.
He's the rare nutting professor who may not have what it takes in the lab.
Useless in the lab.
Would you like to help?
Build it? Oh no. Oppenheimer couldn't run a hamburger stand. I couldn't.
But he's the only man you call when you need a theoretical physicist.
You're talking about turning theory into a practical weapon system.
/ meteorologist.
It'll break before dawn. How could you know that? I know this desert.
/ polylinguist.
You learned enough Dutch in 6 weeks to get a lecture on quantum mechanics. And now I am become death, destroyer of worlds. Oh, I've read Das Kapital, all 3 volumes in the original German.
Okay, we get it. Normally when a guy wants to convince us he's this smart, he just buys Twitter. Experience a sight that's equal parts haunting and beautiful. Extreme close-ups of Cillian Murphy's face. Oh! As he adopts a permanent bug-eyed stare that screams, "What is science done?" Or just as likely, "Help! I'm a skeleton who runs on cigarettes."
Yeah, I think the honey on the rim of the martini glass, that was his nutrition.
That was
for
the
the
only
day.
calorific intake.
Eat. In this powerful performance that exposes every inch of him for you to judge. We were so close to killing 4 days of history class with this.
Wait, what the fuck? Is this real? Can you explain me? I don't want to know.
But you just had to go and hang dong, huh? Back to Fat Man and Little Boy on VHS then.
It's all about ass, isn't it? Sir? You kick it. Or you lick it.
No giggling. Settle in for a 3-hour film that's kinda like Inception.
I'm teaching something no one here has dreamt of.
If every layer of Dream was a different congressional subcommittee.
It's now a trial. About a trial.
Telling Oppenheimer's story through a cabinet confirmation hearing.
Why were his communist associations not seen as a security risk during the war?
About a security clearance renewal process.
My involvement with left-wing groups would not prove a bar to my working on the atomic program.
Regarding an informal roundtable.
What were you guys doing in Los Alamos? Wasn't security tight? Of course it was.
And a raucous joint committee session.
Isotopes are less useful than electronic components, but more useful than a sandwich.
That ends in a shocking twist. The man Robert embarrassed at the AEC secretly handpicked the Gray Board special prosecutor. Gasp. I can see I lost you there. Huh. Big bomb goes boom. Cinema rules. Prepare for a long-ass movie that keeps you hooked by trotting out a new beloved actor every 10 minutes. Like Robert Downey Jr.'s triumphant return after whatever this was. Who's moved on from Tony Stark by playing a businessman/weapons developer with a massive ego. In black and white, Emily Blunt steals every scene as Kitty Oppenheimer, who's there to literally drink and know things.
Wake up!
Smart move by Robert to make her his hand. Matt Damon plays a guy pushing a technology he doesn't understand, so we all knew he'd nail the role.
Fortune favors the brave.
And every physicist you've ever heard of pops up to reminisce about this one time at bomb camp. Not Einstein, though. He's not invited.
Greatest scientific mind of our time. Of his time. How many people do you know who proved Einstein wrong? I'm not sure you understand, Albert.
Yeah, take a hike, Einstein. E equals MC. Square. Stick around for a film with more going on than his usual time-wank dead woman boy genius bit. There's also some thoughtful engagement with American politics, meditations on guilt and responsibility, and the perspective of the Japanese and native people most directly affected by the bombs. In a film with a nuanced message, we may one day be engulfed by nuclear fire, all thanks to J. Robert Oppenheimer. But he felt wee bad about it, okay? Sorry about the apocalypse. So bunker up for the least likely blockbuster of the summer. That's probably Nolan's best film yet, proving audiences will support and enjoy stories with extremely serious grown-up subject matter, but still.
If they don't fucking understand it, because like, oh my fucking god, the development of the fucking nuclear bomb is such a fucking like, such a fucking specific like thematic, you know, like. But like, sell it and people will actually fucking like make it popular. If you fucking make it like, I don't know, like classy enough, you know, like if you make it like if you make it like if you make it like cinematic enough, which is absolutely unbelievable because like this story is just like sounds like interesting to some, but like you won't tell me like, and it's sold, I'm pretty sure, but like.
Nothing could be funnier than someone watching this because Barbie memed them into the theater.
Do you guys ever think about dying?
I do now, constantly. Starring Irish Starbomb, Kitty Pryde, Oppie Doesn't Know, Haterade, Flo the Progressive, Boring, Relativity Media, Jesse, we need to cook, Worst Casey Scenario, Bohemian Testimony, Uncut Nuclei, Feigned Interest, 10 Things I Hate About Boom, Josh Hartnett in Glasses, blech, so unattractive, Red Scare Redemption, and The Alternate Reality, where the fate of the world rests on Josh Peck. Better than Drake Bell, I guess? The Big Bang Theory.
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
It's not possible.
Do you love Nolan?
I don't. What?
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
It's not possible.
Actually, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. Fucking hell. Okay, we're finished with some fucking memes. Okay, let's watch some memes. Okay. Let's watch some memes.
I think I just found my new favorite bodily sound.
I'm
What the
told all
fuck?
the time that my job must be so fun because I get to play with dogs all the time, but this dude has been screaming the entire battle.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Look here, dogs here are mental. One let me unstrapped and one is driving a Peugeot. What the fuck?
He made.
Oh no. You're so mad. What the fuck? Yeah. I'm so dead inside if only you knew.
There's got to be a game where like everyone slowly loosens the cap, the little cork here, and then puts it right up to their eye. You know?
Oh no.
Bottle.
Why would you do that? It's so done.
Tell us something your mom doesn't know. Yeah.
He's so cute. Look at him. Oh my.
Garfield, you ate all my lasagne.
Aww.
It's Jesus Duck. He's standing on the water, dude. It's Jesus Duck. Holy shit.
What the fuck?
It's Jesus Duck.
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only...
Oh my god.
Throwing flashbang.
Oh my, what the fuck? Oh.
One and two. And dance.
Gently, gently, you almost got in the center.
Poor cat. Oh no! What the fuck?
Hey, buddy.
Oh.
どうしてなんで
Hmm. Okay. This was nice. This was nice. All right.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This diver found a lake in Canada with thousands of growing tadpoles.
This is beautiful.
Scientists are not entirely sure what this bird is doing, but they believe the bird is searching for soft spots in the ground where worms could be hiding.
He's so cute.
This camel is eating a cactus. Camels have adapted to life in the desert and have extremely tough throats that can withstand the needles of a cactus.
What the fuck? Friend, you okay? It hurts to watch. What the fuck? I've seen like people driving these drones. So basically, the drone, if it touches one thing because of the speed, they fucking drive it, like use it, manipulate it, it fucking breaks. Like, just remember that like one fucking hit and they need to fix it, right? What the fuck?
This is the Blue Hole, located in the Bahamas. It's pretty much just a random hole in the ground that goes straight down 202 meters deep. A few months ago, a photographer captured a river of lava run straight through a forest in Hawaii.
What's wrong with this? What's wrong with him? Nothing's wrong with him. It's adorable. What
That's
the
in
fuck?
this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon.
Alright. Okay. So this is the end. Like, this was a good time. I'm done. I see that. Oh my fucking god! I've got so much editing to do. I've got so much editing to do. God damn it. It's fine. Yeah. It's been great. It's been great. It's been great. I'll see you later. And as always, be toxic.